team banned.
Dragon Knight.
TnC's turn to ban.
All right, everybody. Welcome into the China Dota 2 Supermajor SEA qualifiers. I apologize for the delay. I was fixing something real quick, but we are into it. It is our first game of the day, and boy, should it be a good one. TnC versus ThePrime.NND. TnC right now, they're 2 series away from making it to the China Supermajor, of course. They're currently in the top spot. They have yet to lose a game, and I think it's going to be very tough for the Prime to actually take this game off TnC. However, I gotta say, Brax, the Prime, I think, looked a lot better than I gave them credit for in the previous 2 days. I was really impressed with, especially In Your Dreams play in the series they played yesterday.
Yeah, he's been playing the Min Kunka, looking pretty good. You can't underestimate any of these teams. Why? You know why? Because in the game of Dota 2, anyone can win. They've got a 50% chance to win, right? You either win or lose. These are basic numbers.
This is math. This is not NA math. This is just the math that he's gonna hit you with early on in this cast, baby. And you're right. It's true. That's it. Pure numbers. 50-50 chance for the Prime NND to take it.
I actually don't know how you can argue with that.
I mean, it's pretty much impossible. You know, I don't even think Nahaz could disagree with you there. He'd just be like, yeah, Brax is right. It's completely true.
You know, I challenge Nahaz to prove me wrong.
Let me get him on the horn real quick. You know,
wait, don't do that. It's late.
It is a little late. It's like, I think he lives in the east time zone, so it's like 3 a.m. or something, or 2 a.m. or something over there. It's like,
wait, you know what? Mon, this is actually pretty important. We might want to wake him up for this.
Yeah, we got to really figure this out. The number aspect of Dota is pretty important. By the way, you got to give credit to Trent. 4 a.m. casting, because of course he's in the magical time zone that nobody ever actually is in, other than the very few Canadians out there that live in Nova Scotia and Halifax. You know, maybe the 100,000 of them. So he's on the crazy time zone that puts him in the 4 a.m. Realm of casting, unfortunately.
Wait, it's like he's in uncharted territory. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyways, let's.
I didn't know it was like that.
it's pretty interesting. I think it's like that and some other. I don't know. I think Brazil's an hour ahead of EST as well, but that's.
Hey, Mont.
Hey.
You want to talk about Dota?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, Brax. Let's talk about Dota.
You like how I'm the one that derailed it, but I asked you the question first, so it made it seem like it was you, but in reality, it's me, and I own up to it.
You know.
So let's talk some Dota.
Let's talk about it. We got some heroes coming out for TnC and for the Prime NND. The Tusk, probably the best 4-ish 5 support out there. He's a roaming hero that doesn't require a lot of items. He's first pick, first ban material, I would say absolutely. And then they have a pretty good draft to go along with it in the DK and the Gyrocopter. Already a pretty good start, I think, for TnC's draft here.
Yep, looks good. DK pretty flexible. He can go into the mid or off lane, but the Prime NND pick up the Ancient Apparition and Lifestealer. All right, so Lifestealer already pretty good up against the Gyrocopter, and DK does have a lot of armor, but there's a whole bunch of magic damage from the Prime NND.
Yeah,
I really dislike saying their name. But
you just say
right
the Prime.
me, so.
Just say the Prime or Prime even.
When you're like 14 and you name yourself like Zombie Slayer 14, nobody addresses you as Zombie Slayer. You're Zombie Slayer 14 because you're the 14th Zombie Slayer. It's part of your identity.
I have a story about one of my early names, my early handles, and I want to get to it, but I want to get through the draft first, and then I'll give you the great story that is my name because it's pretty good. But...
All right, the TLDR in the draft so far is DK's tanky, but Ancient Apparition makes tanky heroes not so tanky. It gives you enough magic damage to actually kill these heroes, so looks pretty good. But of course, with the Nyx Assassin, the roaming potential is not really matched up to the Tusk.
Yeah, I agree. But you really cut through the long and short of it there. You really just got the point across that AA makes DK not that tanky. And, of course, they have the Puck and the Nyx Assassin to work with as the vehicle for the Lifestealer, which it feels like we've seen a lot of armlets in the SEA region. I don't think we've seen a Radiance Lifestealer once in this region so far, at least between the games we've casted, which I find very odd considering it is such a common pickup elsewhere so far with Lifestealer being the way that he is currently.
Yep, the armlet, it's a more fighting-focused build, right? When you have the Radiance, you're sitting there, investing, waiting for your payment to, or waiting for your money to pay off. You have to sit there and hold, 5,000 plus gold to actually become useful. So
yeah,
these teams love the battle.
The man fight central, especially now with the Tidehunter for TnC, Gyro Tide, Tusk DK. There's not going to be a whole lot of late game farming like we saw from Fnatic yesterday, where they have Envy on the Morphling. He just sits back and he gets CS across the map. They maybe take towers. They get some extra space for him and the heroes on their team. But TnC, they want to battle early and often. And they do have a pretty good gyrocopter player on TnC, so it's, between Armel and Raven as well. I think both of them can actually play it. But the Lion is the last overall pick, so Lion Tusk, a good support duo. And I think it's a pretty good draft coming out for TnC.
Yep. A bit unusual to see Lion come out 5th pick, but hey, it's not like they had a last overall pick anyways. The Lion is a fantastic 5-position hero that they saved later on in the draft. Great against the puck, good against the Nyx Assassin, good against everyone. Why you turn them into sheeps?
That's true. Or fishes, depending on if you have the item.
Oh, that's true. The fishy.
The fishy ones just it's pretty funny because they flop, when they get hexed up. The good news is they're not hexed for that long, because if they were, they would die unless they're in the river, because gills and oxygen.
Oh boy.
That's really where that's actually, you should take damage when you get hexed if you have the that particular item, the staff or whatever it is. You should, because you're not in water, and so there you go.
Pay to win, huh?
Exactly. The first pay to win item ever in Dota.
So the Prime.NND, they can shape their lanes up in a few different ways, right? Puck can go mid or in the off lane. Nyx Assassin can be support or in the off lane as well. I imagine Nyx is support, but I think they're going to want to put Puck in the off lane now because they don't want Dragon Knight versus Puck in the mid lane. So yeah, I'm going to assume they're going to pick up a different hero, but what looks good? There's like Tinker. I know C teams love their Tinker in every situation, so that's why I throw that out there. I don't think it's a fantastic Tinker game.
Do they go Kunkka again? They could, I suppose.
They sure could, yeah.
But it's not bad against DK, which we saw yesterday, because the cleave, you bounce it off a creep, or not bounce, rather you hit it off of a creep, but the DK, the armor won't mitigate it. So I think that's pretty nice.
It's also some good setup for A, right? The X-Torrent's going to set up the Cold Feet and the Ice Blast every time.
Yeah. Yep, they're going to go for it.
Look at that, Mont. You're a genius.
I'm so smart, dude. It's not at all the fact that they've played it twice in 2 days.
No, but it makes so much sense here, right? Especially with the Ancient Apparitions setup. Like, we've entered their minds. We see how they're thinking. We know how they function as a unit.
Perfect. We know everything.
And because of that, we can understand why they feel like Kunkka is a great pick here.
We did figure it out, and I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of that pick. But now I promised a story, Brax, and I thought about I'm kind of embarrassed about this story because it's such a dumb fucking name. It's so stupid.
I don't judge. I can't talk for the stream viewers. They might judge, but at least you don't have to interact with them.
All right, well, let me ask you a question first. And that question is, has Brax always been your handle, or have you gone by other names in the past?
Oh, yeah, I've gone by other names in the past. When I was like 10, my name was Haxor. I thought I was super cool.
Yeah, that sounds... Did you have lead speak in it? Did you have numbers and letters, or was it just...
No, I just had Haxor.
All right, you're already better than me with the name I'm about to give you. Like you said, when you're growing up, especially... I grew up as online gaming really became a thing. It wasn't just LAN gaming. Multiplayer really started becoming a thing around the time that I was about 10 or 11. Counter-Strike 1.5, Diablo 2, all that stuff. StarCraft, another big one. And so I'm thinking of, I'm the sick Counter-Strike 1.5 player. I kill everybody, but I also like to sit back and wait. And, and this is going to go somewhere. But I thought, the lead speak was just coming out. Lead was a big thing in Counter-Strike back then. People talked like lead speakers unironically in Counter-Strike games and in servers. And so I figured, okay, what better name than better than you? Except I spelled it B8R_TH8NU. So it actually is pronounced Bader than you instead of, because I thought 8 was a 3. So it did not work out very well. Eventually, they just called me Bader, and then people made masturbation jokes all the time. So it worked out at the end.
That's so sad.
And then eventually,
so cool.
Eventually, I changed my name to Maud because that is a million times better. Maud actually has a sound of, it sounds a little cool and mysterious. It also means death in Hindi and Malaysia. I think the Malaysian language as well, Malay, Malay. I'm not sure how you say it. It's way better than Beta than you. But maybe someday I'll go back to it when I'm playing a pub or something like that.
Oh, no. Not poor Bader than you.
Dude, my 11-year-old mind was like, dude, this is going to be so sick. I'm better than everybody else. I'm better than you. No. Not at all.
This is gonna be so elite.
It's really embarrassing thinking about it now. I guess Mott's not that, Mott's pretty embarrassing when I actually reveal where I got it from. Well, it's not that bad, actually.
When you reveal where you got it from, huh?
Well, actually, it's just Mott-Terran, which is a name I made up in World of Warcraft, and then I shortened it to Mott because everybody else called me that, and that's way better. Mott-Terran sounds dumb as hell. Mott is a million times better than Mott-Terran. Jesus.
Well, I kind of did that as well, because, my real name's Braxton, but
yeah.
Sounds a little stupid, so
I don't know. I like Braxton, but, I mean, Braxton's just easier, I think it's fine. Anyway.
Thank you.
We've got the stories out of the way. There was a pause. That was actually the perfect time to tell that story, because we should have been in this game like a minute and a half ago, and that story was way too long. We probably would have missed first blood. Instead, we get to see a smoke. There was a pause, right? I'm not crazy, right?
Yeah, there was a pause.
Okay, Jesus. I thought I was losing it for a second.
You're doing great.
Okay. You always keep me feeling positive, Brax. This happened in like the first game yesterday. I said some dumb shit, and you're just like, you're doing great, buddy. Thanks, Brax.
Because you can't live in the past, right? Things happen out of your control. You just gotta look forward to the next thing.
That's kind of how these Dota players have to approach the series in this game.
Exactly, right? TnC smoke got broken, but they're like, you know what? Doesn't matter.
Move forward.
We're gonna keep on trucking.
That's the type of play, like, I get upset at the most random things. I swear to God, if I don't get free farm in my lane, I lose it. I imagine if I, like, a smoke breaks and I don't find a kill, I lose it. You haven't played enough pubs with me, Brax. You've seen glimpses of the Mott Rage, but the last time you played with me, I think, we actually had a great time because I was downstairs with Trent, and you were upstairs with Purge and Slacks, the mommy and daddy couple, and that was miserable for you, but great for me and Trent.
That was such a terrible experience. It was all too real.
Never play with Slacks and Purge, guys. I'm just going to throw that out there. It's never a good idea. Slacks is a bit of a... He's more of a rager than people probably give him credit for.
They're like polar opposites.
Yeah. Anyway, we have a Dota game happening, and we're going to see some creep pulls coming in from this puck. Nefari is going to get run down with Rocket Barrage. He's going to try to pull the wave back. They do have another one ready here in 2 seconds, and Nefari's dead.
He's toast.
Yeah, that's just first blood. Varize is going to try to take up the pride of getting this creep wave, but he'll probably die too with another Earth Spike and another Rocket Barrage.
Ever.
All right, that... if you lose the puck, maybe it might be fine. You lose the puck and the Nyx, and the wave doesn't even fully pull. I mean, I guess you are going to get the experience, but Jesus Christ, he gave a lot to that gyrocopter there.
Yep, you're just, this is a Raven gyrocopter. This guy's amazing on this hero. I think every game I've seen him play this hero, he just goes off.
Yeah, this is probably his comfort pick. It's going to be a bit more tricky now that the hero's been nerfed a lot since we last saw him at Bucharest, where he was still pretty strong. But yeah, he should do fine in this game. But we'll see. I mean, he's going to need an early BKB for sure because they have a lot of magic damage. Like the Kunkka, if he finds a combination on this gyrocopter, he just dies because he's a glass cannon early on to the game.
Yep, very true. So, what do you think about this duel lane here from TnC? We've got two beefy boys up here, Tidehunter and Tusk, up against the Lifestealer. And Lifestealer usually likes that kind of. He usually tears through the beef. But this is difficult to deal with, right? You can't really trade right clicks with these heroes. If you do, then you're just going to get shard blocked in, and you'll receive the beat down. And then this bottom lane from TnC is also much stronger than the ThePrime.NNDs. So.
Yeah. This feels like a really good laning phase for TnC. Not just that, but the DK too. Both of these heroes in mid are going to farm, One might do better than the other, but it's not going to be by much, or at least it shouldn't be. So yeah, this is a great laning phase for this TnC team. Getting the fishy onto Varize. So yeah, I mean, the Tusk plus one lane in general is pretty miserable. Like, if you have one other tanky hero along with a Tusk, it's pretty rough. Just feels like Tusk in general in aggressive duel lanes is a nuisance, and it's really tricky to deal with.
I predict, Panda, you will die in 10 seconds, Mott.
Well, luckily he's got a ward. He still might die. They just need to hit one Ice Shard. I think the 10 seconds up.
He skilled up his Gush at level 2. Like he
Oh.
was holding the skill point the entire time, waiting for Ancient Apparition to overstep a little bit.
I see.
So yeah, he's playing real safe, so not gonna happen.
It was a good prediction, just didn't come to pass, but it should at some point.
Well, Mod, if I'm wrong with the prediction, then it's a bad one, right?
Okay.
That means I was wrong.
Well, that's fair.
Tell me I had a bad prediction.
That's your awful prediction, Brax.
Thanks. Well, you didn't have to say awful. That's a little hateful. Bad.
Sorry. I really felt like it was needed, but
It
no.
was.
So we'll keep an eye on top lane. The Ancient Apparition will do his best to pull and just keep the lane back in favor of this Lifestealer, who's doing okay. 12 last hits. He's actually doing better than the Gyrocopter. I thought he would have a little bit less CS, but... So even though TnC has some good heroes and a good laning phase, it's not like the Prime are not farming. You know, they're still getting a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially on the Puck, right? Puck 17 last hits. Doing extremely well up against the Gyrocopter.
Nefari. Puck's got good base damage. He doesn't have an ult talisman. He's still getting good last hits. Very strong hero currently. 18 last hits for the Puck. Yeah, he's actually crushing it. Although, well, hold that thought. Panda U is going to die. Although a minute later than you predicted, he is still dead. I'll give you half credit on that prediction, Brax. It's not an awful prediction anymore. It's a medium prediction.
Well, you know what they say? Half rounds up to 1, so that means I was right.
That's true, actually. And that's just another case of simple mathematics, Brax.
I'm all about the math. I may not do it too well, but I know the rules.
Yeah. The rules of math.
Yep.
There's quite a lot of them, but...
I'm gaming the system.
Exactly. You might as well go to Vegas. You're gambling out of control. Anyway. DK 23 last hits, 6 denies, Ice Shards in your dream. No Ghost Ship. Earthspike comes out. And they have 3 heroes here. They need a Hex to come in. Snowball save, nicely done, even though the Torrent does hit on 1. Oh my god, he actually almost survived through all of that. Armel, Cold Feet proc, do they have the damage? It's going to be close. He has no wand charges, he has no fair fire, but again, he is a DK. He is the tankiest hero in the game currently. And they're going to turn and get this kill into Varese. They actually gave the Mango to Armel, I think, and he's able to get off the Breathe Fire and secure yet another kill, although with the coming back in.
This guy's got 23 health regen with the tank.
Early on into the game, he doesn't really do anything.
That's right, he destroys intelligence mid-heroes. Like the OD Puck tanker, he just casually strolls in, mana burns them to a lot of damage, ruins their mana pool, especially Queen of Pain. But against DK, he just doesn't really do anything.
No, and it's pretty.
He's
brutal.
one of these. He needs space and he needs levels, but he doesn't offer too much in the early parts of the game.
Good Ghost Ship. They almost have 6 for the DK. Breathe Fire comes out. Now he finally does. I'm not sure he's going to use his Elder Dragon form. Ghost Ship has been used in your dream still. The Ghost Ship now coming down, but I think he's fine.
Yep, just a tickle.
He's not actually taking the damage. He didn't take much damage. The Hangover's not really doing that much. By the way, I just noticed that the debuff is called Rum Hangover. That's the best thing ever. I love that.
It's great.
The attention to detail on Dota 2, that really gets me going.
Have you ever tried to play Dota without sound?
Yeah, a few times actually.
Isn't it very, like, it just messes with
It's jarring for sure.
Yep.
Kel'Thuzad, Rage. Open Wounds is pretty good for healing. Or life-stealing, I suppose. He still might die. They have Cuckoo coming up here. This is a pretty hefty dive. Gush is going to come in. Varese is here. He has an Impale. Tusk is so tanky that I'm not sure he really cares. The Earth Spike's going to hit. They have the Ice Shards. They could have given it the Anchor Smash to get the kill, but I think it's probably better if they just take down the heroes as quickly as possible. Tim's has no stick charges, but it's still going to be a 2-for-1 with the Gush. The Mango comes out, maybe not. The Fairy Fire from Varese. He's trying to get off the Impale, but he can't quite do it. Nefari finally rotates, but he's only level 5, so he doesn't have that Dream Coil that you like having when the Puck rotates for a dive. And he's not going to find anything. They're just going to TP out. And that's pretty brutal for the Prime.NND. He rotated for nothing on Nefari.
Oh man, the level 5 Puck rotation. That's so sad. They have no way to cancel the TPs. They managed to kill Lifestealer under his tower. It's just so sad. But Lifestealer makes his way down to bottom lane in front of the Gyrocopter. But this is a Gyro with phase boost. Not the easiest thing in the world to lane up against, especially with his level 6.
Yeah. Especially if Rage is on cooldown, you need to be very careful. And Kel'Thuzad only has level 2 Rage. He won't be able to die solo to Raven, I don't think, but it's not like he can sit up here and lane. And so this start for TnC is going about as expected. They have the top 3 net worth heroes. Raven is getting run up by Kel'Thuzad. Maybe he can do some work? Nah. Doesn't do enough damage without like phaser treads or something.
Kel'Thuzad.
Kel'Thuzad. That's right. The inner Canadian coming out.
Yep, smoke moving from TnC, moving down bottom. They want to use this D-kill, but they're going to walk right into Panda U.
Panda U gets Earth Spiked, Hexed up. They have no Dragon Tail, not that they need it, because the Ancient Apparition literally melts against the DK. Varese is going to get run out. The Snowball comes out. They have plenty of damage. Varese is dead. That's a double kill for Armel, who is having a heck of a game. Raven is rotated. They've got the Dream Coil, but here comes the call down, and Kel'Thuzad with no rage. I don't know if he can fight. They have the Ghost Ship coming in. Maybe they can. The ship will get the kill onto Tim's, and Raven's going to get brought down as well. And they're actually going to turn it around. And your Dream had a double damage rune as well. They need an X. They're going to find Cuckoo, and they just get it. The Torrent's going to come out as well. They don't even need it. Nefari gets a double kill. That was the type of rotation they were looking for top lane, but they find it bottom. They get 3 really big kills in that fight for the Prime.NND.
Yep, and that's the Dragon form being used as well. I guess Armel is getting some mid-tower damage off from that, but very nice reactions from the Prime.NND. And the Kunkka mod, he's so strong early on into the game when the Ghost Ship comes out.
It's really hard for them to find into it. If they had the Tidehunter there with Ravage, they might have been able to take the fight a bit more aggressively. I was surprised. I thought the call-down Rocket Barrage combination was going to kill the Lifestealer, who, by the way, has a Ring of Aquila. That's not something you see every day, I feel like.
Well, I was talking to Shane a little while ago. We were playing Dota, you know, talking about Dota, and he said something really, really smart to me. He was like, well, Arteezy buys Ring of Aquila on Lifestealer, so it must be really good.
Yeah.
You know what? That's probably right. And he's right. It is really, really good.
It's really good, I guess. It must be, if he's the one that's buying it. And your Dream's going to get rotated on. He does have Ghost Ship. He's very tanky still. He has 12 launch charges. He also had a range drop. Here comes the coil into the Ghost Ship combo. This could be a disaster. They're going to lose 2 more than likely, as Tim's is going to get cleaved down. Armel, Cold Feet coming out, but they don't have enough. They have the Torrent, but the Cold Feet will not latch. He still should have enough damage to get the kill if they have another orb, and they do. And that's a double kill for Nefari. This early game team fighting lineup from the Prime, so tough to fight into, and the Kunkka felt like he was actually pretty impossible to kill in that engagement.
Goodness, the Kunkka is just so darn tanky. You know, DK doesn't deal the most damage in the world, right? He's the tanky hero, but they've got Ancient Apparition, and of course with the Puck coming in, that's a disgusting combo. The Ghost Ship into the coil.
And this is before they have Ice Blast in the Ancient Apparition too. Like, can you imagine? They'd probably be winning these fights even harder. Oh.
Ha 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 ha. Yep, exactly, right. They have to worry about the Ice Blast to win. Alright, Panzu just got a 6 off the tome, so that's available next time. I was wondering if Armel would go into like a, you know, a hood build perhaps, but nope, just gonna go for the drums. I guess it's not that good of a hood game, it's really just the Puck and Ancient Apparition. Probably just go for BKB instead at some point.
Yeah, just getting the early BKB. He could like go drums into BKB, although sometimes you would like the better initiation tool with the Shadow Blade or Blink Dagger. And he might go for that first, but I feel like if he keeps dying like this, it might not be the best choice.
So the reason why I bring that up is because, so, you know, drums are definitely the most standard item on DK, right? But SamH already has drums. So,
oh, really?
Yep. So they're playing with 2 drums, which isn't bad or anything, but you can kind of divide and conquer with these auras, right? What if Tidehunter has the Helm the Dominator, for example, and then Armel has drums, right? Then you can actually use 2 different auras instead of stacking them. But
yeah.
I guess they didn't want the Dominator up against the Lifestealer because you can always just infest the creep. But anyways, we have some movement from the Prime.NND, making a smoke play down bottom. They desperately want Raven, but Tim's is in a position to break the smoke, so they're very hesitant.
Yeah, they don't want to commit too hard here. The next Assassin's going to get flacked. And they're like, they've maybe got vision. So they'll back up, maybe wait till the tower pushes. Interesting fact about this game. This is like the first game I've seen no Helm of the Dominator at like 12 minutes in.
Yeah, it's true.
There was a tweet, Arteezy actually, he tweeted a picture of Helm of the Dominator and then some the item. So, classic. Helm of the Dom Siege Creep.
You know what's funny is most offlaners can't do very much to the carry until they finally finish the Helm of the Dominator. Like, they can be losing the lane horribly with the, you know, pretty bad matchup and get shut down, but once that comes out, the carry player just, they want to leave the lane. They don't want to sit there in front of the
I bet that's why he tweeted it out. I think he probably just, like, he plays pubs and he feels miserable because he has to play up against Helm of the Dominator 90% of the time. And he's just like, what a dumb item.
Exactly. When you're just sitting there, you know, farming up the jungle with your Battle Fury, and then they're knocking on your tier 2s and tier 3s with the Helm of the Dominator, it's probably one of the worst feelings. Yep, Cuckoo. He's set up. They're going to spring the trap on Kelp.
They need the Hex first. From Cuckoo almost has it. Earth Spike? Is he going to go for that? I thought he would go for the Hex first. They should have enough to chain. Oh, Ravage? And they don't even need it. I thought they might have, but they had a nice Hex coming in from Cuckoo. I guess he wanted to save the Hex. That was a nicely done stun. Good setup coming in from TnC. And Variz here with the Vendetta. They're going to pop the Impale, but they miss it. They actually had the drum popped, and Line was the fastest man alive when that happened. Rocket Barrage comes out, and instead of them securing the kill with Variz, they're like, well, we've just lost 2 for pretty much nothing.
Yep, lots of patience from SamH. He could have Ravaged to hit both the Puck and the Nyx there, but he holds it. And now, you know, it's the right choice, right? That Ravage maybe gets one more kill on the puck, but that doesn't really mean anything. It means a dead puck, but in terms of objectives of what they can actually use on the, you know, use on the map, what they can translate to it is like nothing. And
Yeah.
He's going for round 2.
They don't have
There
a
it
ward.
is.
It was just dewarded. They knew immediately, but they're still going to find the kill anyway. And they did deward right here, so they know there's no ward now. It's just Cuckoo running in, and that's pretty depressing for the puck to get got there. There's no vision for the Radiant. I don't know how... They were just ready for that kill, I guess. Oh, they had the creeps. Well, that's nice. And now they can get the tier 2 tower. They still have Ravage.
Exactly, right? They always have the threat of the Ravage. Samh shouldn't use it there. He's just sitting there behind the enemy tower.
They could go for Samh, who's backstroking it up. They didn't Torn. I thought they would have. He had mana. I guess they were just like, we need it for a ghost ship setup or something like that. They might be able to defend. The Torrent comes out, but it misses onto Armel. It was close. We'll see if they want to go. They need like an Impale. They do have a coil. And the puck does have a Blink Dagger. Samh might be the one that's found. The Impale misses. Torrent will almost hit. Nice play from Samh. I don't think they're going to chase that far. They still know the Tusk is bottom, but they're going to chill out for a bit.
And this is a really slow lifesteal timing for him to get to his armor. He's been harassed and killed off in the safe lane multiple times this game.
Yeah.
TnC have been doing a fantastic job pressuring him around the map. And they're all making rotations. They're playing with DK Gyro. They have to make moves with these tier 1 towers. You know, they're not going to win just by farming the entire game.
You know, I'm surprised that they haven't gotten more buildings in this game. They didn't even get the tier 2 top. They spent a lot of time to not get that much map control. But the good news is that they're so far ahead now that it may not matter. If this lifestealer was going Radiance, I would feel a lot more comfortable about the Prime's chances in the late game. But I'm not sure how I feel now that they have, you know, lifestealer and Kunkka. I guess they really have to rely on these magical, you know, this magic damage for these fights here in the near future.
Yep, the Prime just focusing on taking fights, right? They want to be able to fight TnC when they come to go for their towers. They want to contest them for everything instead of waiting for that Radiance timing. So it's definitely a different approach to the game, right? If this was America, everyone likes to farm, so you'd probably be seeing a Radiance lifestealer no matter what.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just want to battle. They've got the Ancient Apparition, Kunkka's fantastic at fights, Puck, same thing, but these heroes are very difficult. Sorry, not these heroes, but Tidehunter makes it extremely difficult for the Prime to just run into them, right? Even with the magic immunity, like, he's always going to get the Ravage off because of the Kraken shell.
Yeah, it's
very interesting.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tricky for the Prime. They're going to try to take the tier 1 tower, but they lose a tier 2 top and a tier 1 mid for it. That is probably not the best trade, especially considering Kel'Thuzar didn't even get the last hit on the tower. So, doesn't really matter, I guess, but still. Not the greatest.
Triple drum spot.
Really?
One on Gyro, one on Tide.
They really like this item. They must really enjoy this item.
They're just fans of great music.
Just a lot of percussion, you know. Real big fans of Neil Peart. Do you know who that is, by the way?
No.
Okay, god damn it. It's the drummer from Rush, who is
okay.
critically acclaimed as probably one of the best, if not the best drummer in the world.
Okay, well now I know. You learn something new every day.
Have you heard any Rush songs ever in your life, Brax?
Yeah.
Okay, good. At least there's that. You know, Tom Sawyer, Limelight, you know...
I mean, I don't remember them, but I'm sure I've heard some.
YYZ. Some of them were on, like, Rock Band and stuff like that.
Okay.
Have you ever played Rock Band 1?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, then you've played a Rush song. You've heard Tom Sawyer. This is really important, by the way, guys. You need to make sure.
This is culture.
Right. All you kids out there not listening to the rock music, come on now.
Yeah, they're all going, you guys hear that new song by Justin Bieber? How about One Direction? Oh,
Jesus.
Yeah.
I
Can't
don't
you
know.
wait till it's like, have you guys heard, you know, when the next generation's playing the classics while their kids are growing up and it's, you know, it's One Direction, it's all this stuff. I can't wait for that.
I sure hope not. You know, that'd be pretty depressing. God. I guess I shouldn't talk shit about somebody's, you know, everybody has their own opinions about music, and who am I to say that it's wrong?
I mean, I'm definitely not saying it's wrong. I just think it'd be funny. But by, you know, once we get to that point in our lives, it's probably going to be very normal.
I think it would just trigger a lot of people, and I think that's pretty funny.
Sitting by the fireplace with the kids, you know, listening to some Jonas Brothers.
Oh, God. That sentence just made me vomit in my mouth. Jesus Christ. Anyway, it's a 3K lead for TnC, so they had this big advantage. It was almost like 5-6K, and now it has dwindled down. Panda U goes for a very interesting Tinker Ward, which I suppose is fine because they've been kind of making their home in the top lane, but I'm not actually sure it does anything.
Yeah, it looks like it's not going to, but they definitely expect Cuckoo probably to be just camping in the trees, waiting to hex whoever comes to farm that lane. Alright, we've got the Infest up from ThePrime.NND. Nyx Assassin looking for anyone, but TnC, they're pretty grouped up.
I mean, I think they saw the Ancient Apparition TP out top lane, and maybe they thought he was seeping to a different lane to go for a gank, and now they're kind of playing together. Also, more so the fact that they don't know where the Nyx Assassin is until right now. Dragon Tail, but they have the Ice Blast sailing in. The Infest is going to come out. They want Cuckoo. They have the Rage. Finger is going to blow up the Nyx. Man, that Nyx is real sad. He didn't even get the experience. Jesus. Oh.
Right. Well, TnC, I mean, once the Infest bombs out, there's really nothing to fear on the map. Lifestealer needs a vehicle. Puck is a pretty good vehicle, but he spends most of his time pushing out lanes so that Nyx Assassin can actually find some place on the map to move to. And TnC can keep on farming. They're farming the majority of the map. Their wards are excellent. They have 2 in the enemy jungle, so they can just farm this top lane with the jungle as well.
I also like that one of them is blocking the medium camp. Just takes that away. Just another little added bonus. Because that's really the only place they could try to farm. I mean, they have like this part of the map essentially for the Prime to farm.
Yeah, that ward is actually like divided. You know, that's like where they can actually farm.
Yeah.
And while I'm talking nonsense, Nefari dies in the mid lane.
He got jumped on and killed. His stock standard stuff. They gushed him. They had the Ice Shard Snowball with the Dragon Tail, and the Puck is so squishy that he dies immediately, and that is why he's building an Aeon Disc. The unfortunate thing is that he's still like 800 gold away.
That's very interesting. The Aeon Disc right after the Blink Dagger, but I guess it makes a lot of sense, right? It is going to save you from these engagements.
Yeah, just try to keep you alive, but the thing is, once you pop your coil and your Illusory Orb, you're not really doing that much damage, I guess, unless you can get your spells back up. I don't know. I guess it's fine. I don't know, like, I just haven't seen Aeon Disc on Puck before.
Yeah, but the idea is that he's not going to be able to die like how he just died in the mid lane, right? So that he'll be able to split push and keep side lane pressure for a long time. So I like it. It's very interesting. It's new, but it makes a lot of sense.
And it's a good item too. It's not just a Death Prophet item anymore. It's very situational, and in this game, the situation probably makes sense. Varese was spotted by Cuckoo, who misses the Earth Spike. He didn't have any detection. In the meantime, the Kunkka is trying to split push bottom with X. He does have a Halberd, which will be pretty nice, but there is still going to be a lot of damage coming in from magical sources, so we'll see if it can't get anything done against this Gyrocopter or this DK.
Yep. It feels like the game is at this point where TnC, they are ready to fight. They have BKB on Gyrocopter. DK's BKB is coming pretty soon. They're going to hit that double BKB timing. And Tidehunter, of course, has a Blink Dagger and Hood, so he's a super tanky frontliner. Where as long as they get to jump first, I mean, I don't think there's anything that the ThePrime.NND can do to battle that. And then it's just a matter of when can we do Roche?
Yeah.
Do we have anyone building towards Medallion? And nope, we don't. So. And
that's the other thing, though, is that neither team can really do Roche that quickly. Both teams are really bad at it, actually. And that might be... I don't know if it's good news. It probably is good news for the ThePrime.NND because they wouldn't really have a chance at Roche anytime soon anyway.
Yeah, more good news for the ThePrime.NND. TnC smoke on top of an observer ward, so...
That is great news.
Of what's going on?
That's great. It would be even greater news if there weren't BKBs on TnC and they could actually take a fight for the ThePrime.NND, but I think they just have to back up. And
well, Mott, you can't have everything in life.
It's true, especially in a game of Dota. So they have the Tusk with the Blink Dagger now. He's going to have some great Blink Snowball saves or Blink Walrus Punch initiations. Everybody is back in the base for the Prime. They have the Infest inside Nefari. He is waiting for his Arcane Boots, which are flying out on the courier as soon as they purchase it. And then I'll have the Aeon just ready to go, and that might be the time for them to go. We'll see if they can do anything with this. They're just going to farm. They don't want to take a fight.
I feel like they don't really have an item that screams go time for them, you know? Like a single item that's going to enable them to be able to fight TnC's lineup because they just hit a double BKB timing. I feel like for the Prime, it's just all about split push. all about them just trying to farm out the sides of the map to split up TnC and then make a move, so they can actually use their lifestealer combo. Because puck is super hard to catch out on the side lanes with Aeon Disc.
Yeah. Just feels like it's so hard for the Prime to fight in general. Like, there's not any damage when you're dealing with the DK BKB and even the Gyro BKB. Like, I don't know. I don't know if they're ever going to get a point in the game where they actually can take a fight. Maybe once they have the Daedalus on the Kunkka, they could think about fighting.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely helps, but to find the next assassin down bottom. Yeah, it helps, but even then, when Kunkka has the Daedalus, right, it's going to be about him trying to get the crit off, right? He's going to sit there, cleave, and then reset the fight, and then try to just keep weaving in and out. It's never going to be him manning up against the Gyrocopter, taking him down. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's going to be about the way they take the engagement. And as long as TnC sit as 5, I feel like there's really no danger of them. So I think this is exactly why you were talking about TPF to split push, is just because 5-on-5 engagement, TnC's fine. They can continue to play as 5v5, especially when they want to push. So doing what they're doing now for the Prime is probably the best case scenario, right? Trying to trade for a tier 1 top.
Yep, any trades are good for the Prime because they can't fight at all. So they just want to try to get whatever they can out of it for TnC eventually.
Are they going to? Did they see the Ice Blast? They must have. Dream Coil comes out, the Illusion Orb. They want Cuckoo, but the BKB comes out. Still, that's not a lot committed, even for that kill alone. Everybody else gets away to safety, it looks like. Except maybe Armel. Now he was out. And they needed a nice Vortex on the ground. Then they could have found that kill.
He's a speedy dude. That's why he flies.
He is indeed very fast. All right, so they kill Cuckoo. They don't. The good news is that they also got the 10-second BKB from Raven. And that's where this game gets a lot easier, is when the BKBs get down to 5 seconds. They actually, I think, can fight and, like, maybe deal with these heroes. But, you know, that's what they need to do. Try to find pickoffs. Try to find TnC not all together and take the engagement that way.
Yep, agreed. Anything like that is fantastic for the Prime. Get these BKBs down, make TnC travel across the map to try to make plays. Have you seen a Ravagers game, Mont?
Nope.
Hasn't been needed yet.
Not yet. It's like the other day where we saw Chronosphere not needed for the first 27 minutes of a game. Actually, I don't think you were. That was the Chinese games that I don't think you were casting.
That was with Jenkins, not me.
Yeah. Well, the first one was, and I was alone.
Oh. That's really sad.
It was very sad. Have you ever heard me solo cast? People don't like it very much.
No, but, Mont, if you're ever in that situation, give me a ring.
I think you were sleeping. I don't even think I actually asked you. I probably should have. Oh well. It was like it was like 3 hours before the first SEA game. So I was like, oh, I want to make sure you get as much time as you need.
I what?
What?
You want to make sure that I do what, Mont?
That you can be fresh. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to look out for you, buddy. Also, I'm
very considerate.
I was very frustrated, and I didn't want to make another person frustrated. That they had to do this game right before the first. And also, I was feeling sick. That was the day I was really feeling sick.
Oh, that's right.
And I think.
Have you ever seen me frustrated?
No, I don't think so. Well, not really. No, I don't think I have. You neither? Okay. That's impressive. You got Zen-like concentration a lot of the times. Well, here we go, Roche Pit. And TnC, they're doing it. And again, it's not very fast, but they have Gush, which is at least some armor reduction. And there is absolutely no threat of this being contested for the Prime.
Thank God they have 3 sets of drums. They've all used the charge for Roche.
The bongos are playing inside the Roche Pit. It's a jamboree, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but you can't hear it unless you're in the pit, Mont.
I like how the drum sound is just one drum beat. It's literally bum, and that's it. Damn, that's pretty sad. I know it's like supposed to be like one of those drums that you see on the warfield where, I don't know, it's like a... It just feels like it could be more, Brax. They could do more with the drums in this game.
Yeah, I agree, but if you have 3 of them on the same team and everyone just starts banging on their drums, it's gonna get real distracting.
Yeah, it's too much. I complain a lot about things that need to be added in Dota 2 that really don't need to be added. I don't know, we were talking about something like that yesterday. Oh, the F5 screen. Oh, this screen isn't good enough. I don't like it. The items are too compact. You're just like, whatever.
You, huh?
I think you're just sitting there. You're just thinking like, yeah,
you know, I'm trying to see it from your point of view. I'm like, oh yeah, I could see why, you know, it doesn't make the most sense. You know, yeah, I get it, but thank God you don't balance this game.
Yeah, seriously. Jesus Christ. Although, Valve, if you ever want to hit me up, I'm ready. Anyway, there is the Desolator done for Kel'Thuzad, and he's ready to go. Ready to go in the sense that he can keep farming, I guess.
That's right. It's going to accelerate his farm even more because more damage to slay those creeps.
I guess now they can take down towers quicker. So there's that.
Yep, but they're going to reach a point eventually where TnC go high ground, right? Armel used the Elder Dragon form. It's going to knock on the tier 3 of the ThePrime.NND. They even glyph so that this range creep stays alive longer so they can get some tower damage going.
Okay, they couldn't get TP back. Everybody else has their TP. The point where they're going high ground is right now, Brax. This Ice Blast is not going to hit anybody. It hits Sam H, but that's it. And I don't think he really cares. So that's an Ice Blast down. They get off an Ice Torrent. They're going to try to bring down Raven. They actually had a pretty nice cleave, I think, from In Your Dream. The Dream Coil is going to hit. Armel has to BKB it off. They don't lose their tier 3 tower. Does take a lot of damage. And the road to recovery is now, as Panda U has picked up the greatest item in Ancient Apparition history.
Oh,
the Hand of Midas. Yeah, exactly. It's there.
Push defended, except they had the TP back to their base with 5 heroes, and the tower's almost dead.
All right, Brax, I want us to, 10 minutes from now at 39:45, I want to see what this Ancient Apparition has, if the game is still going at that point. And we'll see if this Hand of Midas is really worth it.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, what else would the Midas be, right? It'd be like a Force Staff, Glimmer Cape.
That's
both
true.
Both items that they're good, for sure, but probably not going to be the difference maker.
Well, but what do you buy? I mean, don't you get those same items anyways, now that you have...
now he goes back for Force Staff.
So what's the... I don't understand.
The point is they're not fighting.
I suppose that's true. That's a good
So
point.
Pick up some gold for him to play.
It's not like he would have had... He might not have had the Force Staff... Well, I mean, obviously he has the Midas, but... I don't know. It wouldn't have mattered, probably. You're probably right about that.
Yep, they've got no intentions to fight, right? So it makes sense.
I'm too harsh on him. First, the Observer Ward that didn't do anything up here on the Uber Cliff, and then the Hand of Midas. I don't want to give it to Panda U too much because he's played pretty well this tournament so far. Anyway, they have a bunch of heroes bottom with Varize, who has a Spirit Vessel now. Tims and Cuckoo are going to walk up, and they are going to be spotted. At least Cuckoo will be. Although I think they know Varize is in here. Oh, Varize is going to go for an Impale and then die. Armel was sitting right behind Cuckoo. They knew it was coming. That was a smart bait from TnC. Really smart play. They don't have a ward or anything for the Radiant team. They just knew that the Nyx was off the map, and they thought, you know, okay, they could find this kill. That was really great.
Stuff. Very nice indeed. And, you know, it is just a Nyx assassin, but it's about kicking out the pests, the split pushers, right? Once you can remove them from the map, you can actually get to their towers. So, yeah, this tier 2 tower should be pretty free for TnC. I don't see any reason why the ThePrime.NND would think that they need to defend this tower.
Yeah, that tier 2 is just dead. And they can even kind of split top and do at least a little damage to the tower. They have a Shadow Blade on the Kunkka, by the way. He didn't go for the Daedalus. And I'm curious what you think about this, because the Daedalus gives you a lot of damage, but you know, the Shadow Blade might be the utility you're looking for on the Kunkka.
It's just more split push.
Yeah, true. That's actually it in a nutshell.
That is the name of the game for ThePrime.NND.
They've got quite the name. And they actually are going to trade the tier 2s, I think. That's really the best case scenario for the Prime. Trading a tier 2 for a tier 2. Now they need to not lose their tier 3, though. Losing the tier 3, that's going to be pretty rough, because then you lose both shrines. You lose all of the map control that you have up until this point. They did buy the BKB on the Kunkka. If they want to try to fight and, you know, at least keep the high ground safe, it's going to have to be now, especially with Aegis gone. And I don't know. Armel wants to take the tower. I don't know how hard they're going to commit for it, though. Are they just going to back? In fact, the Lifestealer did a lot of work to the tier 3 on his own. Rage to be, they have Walrus Punch. Going to get there in time. It's going to be close. He cannot. Tims.
Got canceled, too.
Oh. But now Nefari's getting run at here. They might find Varys. Good phase shift. Cuckoo might be dead if he's not careful. Nefari gets the blink off. I thought they were going to... Oh, they might actually go now on Cuckoo. Yeah, he's dead. Can they find Raven? Armel jumps in. They want Varize, but that's not the best target. They have the Ghost Ship coming out. Kel'Thuzad is still fine. He's got to back up. Oh, my God. This tier 3 tower is so freaking low. 40 damage. That's all they needed. That's really good, though, for the Prime. I don't think they really care about their Nyx Assassin dying. They almost get a tier 3. They get the tier 2 earlier. They keep their tier 3 alive. Again, the best case scenario probably for the Prime.NND.
Yep, they're just trying to keep on holding on. Any defense is a good one since TnC desperately rely on the Elder Dragon form from DK to assault the tower. But DK's got he's got 50 armor. This man is not dying to Lifesteal's physical damage at all. They're gonna need a huge cleave or tons of magic damage coming out from Ancient Apparition and Puck. Puck was also picked up the Aghanim Scepter, so it's very nice with the Lifesteal combo. You can just sit there and wail on someone and they can't kite you.
This, God, did they smoke on another ward? They did. They've pinged it out. They are pinging a lot, and they are backing. There's little do they know there's a lot of vision for the Radiant over in this this area. Both teams might actually smoke on top of a ward. We're gonna see it right now for Reese. Oh, please don't. Oh, they vendetted on top of it. It's just as bad.
Kuku's got sentries ready. Yep.
Oh, Nefari. Nice. Good play, but they still are in trouble. Ice Blast gonna sail. They have the Cuckoo killed. Rage comes off, but they did get off the Ravage on the other heroes. Varize is dead. Kel'Thuzad's going to try to fight the save the Torrent, the Ghost Ship coming in. They want to kill Raven, and they do get the kill. And Tim's is going to fall. It's 3 dead, and now they're going to be on the run. Armel's going to try to get out. The X-Mark's coming in. That'll be onto the Tide. They want to focus and kill him. I don't know if they can get the DK, but they get the next best thing, and all 4 heroes going down on this TnC side. And they did it. What a perfect engagement coming in from the Prime.NND side.
Oh god, Raven got stunned forever when he snapped the Ags Coil. Lifesteal just beat him up.
Oh, that's right. He just got the Ags. I forgot about that. I was going to say something. That's huge.
You know, TnC, they set the trap on the ward and everything, but both teams kind of knew there'd be a confrontation there. And Puck, he just walked in the front with his Aeon Disc. Like, he got punched, hexed, and then ravaged, but Aeon just kept him alive.
Oh my god.
All the initiation was just wasted.
I don't know if they could force buyback because of Glyph, but they can get some tier 3 tower damage. They could go top and maybe even get the tier 3 tower there. I'm surprised Kel'Thuzad's not doing that. He should have gone top, I think. And now they're just going to back up. It's the safest play. Roche is up in 2 minutes. Unfortunate timing for the Prime.NND, but they have now an advantage in this game for the first time, Brax. It's a 3K lead, and that's really, really important because I don't know. Like, I didn't think they were going to be able to take a fight at any time in this game up against TnC, but they finally do it. And all it really required was the Puck Ags and some extra damage coming in from the Kunkka and the Lifestealer.
Yep, TnC, they just, they can definitely win these fights. It's just a matter of who they actually jump. If they jump the Puck's going to live every time with the Undisc, and they're going to waste their crucial disables. Even going on the, actually managing to catch the Nyx Assassin out like that first would have been much, much better.
Yeah.
Yep, we just couldn't get it done.
Even the Nyx dying is not the worst thing. You're just missing out on the Impale pretty much. Some mana burn. But,
yep.
Oh,
Raven's got some problems, Juan.
Wait, what?
He's got some issues. How is he meant to stay alive against the Ags Dream Coil and the Lifestealer in team fights? Like, he has the Butterfly now, so that helps a lot, but in Lifestealer, he is super, super fun.
Yeah, he's a big issue. Does Kel'Thuzad ever get an MKB this game? I feel like it's actually a decent item on Lifestealer, but he's going to try to get a Basher first. I think if he knows the Butterfly's there, he probably goes MKB, right?
Yeah, but he probably has an idea, right, Gyrocopter? He has the Butterfly now, but he's holding on to one piece in his inventory. Maybe he'll change it up and go for the MKB, but Basher is also extremely good.
Yeah, if he's getting Abyssal, it could be huge.
I feel like it's a bit redundant, though, with the Puck Ag Stream Coil. I feel like he doesn't necessarily need it.
I mean, at this point, if Raven is able to stay alive with a Butterfly and start dishing out the damage, the fight could turn sour pretty quickly. So I like having the MKB so that the Lifestealer can burst him down. You have the Axe Coil to keep him in place, the Lifestealer to just run at him. And as long as he gets the Rage off on the Lifestealer, he should be able to kill me. Yeah, he's switched over. He knows.
Yep.
And that makes a lot more sense.
Isn't that a nice feeling? When you're like, well, maybe this item's better, and then they just do it because they're like, wait, yep, this item's better.
I mean, we have God mode. We see everything, so it's pretty easy for us. Hey, there's a Butterfly. How about MKB? It's pretty simple stuff. By the way, I didn't mention this previously, but in the last fight, they did get the gem from Tim's. Varize picked it up.
Yep, that's a huge deal. Nyx Assassin can now just run around freely. There are going to be sentries, but he's able to spot them out. And that's also just more economic damage done to TnC.
Yeah. They are going to find the Lion. Maybe not the highest value kill, but because Roche is up, it's going to get them a lot. They know that it's up. The Radiant do have a ward here. They also have a sentry, which Varize is going to counter pretty quickly. As soon as they get up onto the high ground. Just de-ward that real quick. Now, can they contest? 30 seconds without the line. I don't know if they could take a fight, but Roche shouldn't fall that quickly, although Lifestealer will do a lot of damage.
I mean, this was very dangerous, right? They managed to counter the vision. TnC are banking on the Kunkka to make an aggressive play. Oh, they actually might pull the find. He's going to clear the wave. Can they catch him?
Armel went Orchid, by the way, which is really good against the Slave, so I forgot to mention that. He can't get his rage off of these fights, then he dies.
That's true. Very good against a lot of the heroes. And then he'll probably work on the, they're actually going for the heart. I was thinking maybe a nullifier into that.
Yeah.
So that you can just lock these heroes down, but not gonna happen.
Jeez, Aegis, they've got the coil, Armel, and this is going to be on both of the cores, the Ice Blast, but where are the heroes? They're going to come in. BKB's pop for Raven. They're going to have to just wait this out. The coil's still there. Now it's gone. The cleave coming in from In Your Dream. Armel will melt as well. They're both dead for 80 seconds. The gyro just did get buyback. He has it available, but they will lose Tim's. No, he blinks himself to safety. The Aeon Disc is now gone. The Impale X marks combination. The snowball save will be there, but again, he doesn't have blink for another 6 seconds, so good luck getting out of this. He could have tried to ice shard himself, but he dies so damn quickly, it doesn't matter. And the puck finds the initiation, and now, even with these buybacks, they might still lose Rax because there's no DK. He has no Dragon Form, even if he did have buyback. Oh, my God, Rax. The Prime, they need this win, and it's going to help so many of these teams against TnC if they can find it. CMH getting run down. The Impale will follow. They've got the X marks. He's almost dead. They need one auto attack, but he will taunt himself to safety, and they cannot find the kill. The Walrus Punch from Tim's. Gyrocopter has bought back. Kel'Thuzar might be in trouble, and he's got the armlet toggle in time. X marks Torrent. Cuckoo in trouble now. Kel'Thuzar running that lion down. It's going to be another kill. Kel'Thuzar working on the Rax. It's going to be a 3 versus 5 for the next 25 seconds, and Kel'Thuzar is going to get Spirit Vesseled up. He'll back himself up to safety. They will take a full set, and they might even try to find more here as they're going to jump back in. The Dream Coil was up. Raven, he might die back, and he will. Dead for 88 seconds. Just like that, TnC, they might get their first loss of these China Supermajor qualifiers.
My goodness, the cleave have been insane. Like, DK, this guy's got 50 armor. Well, doesn't matter. Might be the free.
Oh, there it is. Just as you were saying it, this should be the kill. They need one auto attack. No, they couldn't find it. He's got too much armor, but the Ghost Ship was able to hit anyways. Even if it didn't, they still would have gotten the kill with the auto attacks, and they did. And they are crushing it. Aeon Disc. Oh, no. Nefari. Cuckoo's lion finger blocked by the Aeon Disc, and he gets out to safety. What a disaster for TnC in this first game of the series. This will be not Mega Creeps because there is still a Rax, but they're going to call GG anyway, and that makes sense. Great game. Great turnaround from the ThePrime.NND. Really good stuff, Brax.
My goodness, like, there's nothing you can do against the, when he gets that Tide Burn off. You can't really tank up against it, no matter what item you buy. It's still going to chunk you for all your health. DK's got 50 armor. Well, Cleaver Creep, you can bypass it entirely, and, I mean, that was just the best possible case scenario, right? They Dream Coil with the Aghanim Scepter on both core heroes. Ice Blast lands on top of both of them as well. And then they take a fight with the Aegis, and then, of course, Kunkka comes in, crits him on the Cleave. And that was with the 25, so it's a plus 50% bonus damage Cleave as well. Jesus.
That Kunkka, he got more than enough farm to be effective this game. How much?
Game winning.
22,000 damage. He was by far and away the leader in damage. Lifestealer did a lot in that game, but the Cleaves at the end. Raven and DK, if they survive the initial Dream Coil and they can kind of run around, that fight might go their way. But because they have the lockdown, because the Kunkka comes in and cleaves them all dead, that just ends the game right then and there, essentially. And I wonder, do you think you ban Kunkka in the second round just to be safe against this Prime.NND squad?
I don't know. Something I noticed about the Prime.NND is they always save In Your Dreams hero for as late as possible. If they're second pick, they'll always last pick his hero to make sure he has a good matchup for him to carry the game. But well, you were talking about the Ancient Apparition.
Yeah.
You know, he picked up that Midas 10 minutes later, boom, Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, but he bought the Ags at the end of the game. You know, the fight mid where they get the coil on it too, that's when he bought the Ags.
Yeah.
So it didn't do anything. He just had a Midas the entire game, which I guess is fine. It's an Ancient Apparition, so who really cares? But still, you know, I don't know. It didn't do anything because because they weren't fighting for a while, but anyway.
All I know is at the end of the game, he had an Aghanim Scepter, and it was because of that hand of Midas.
You're not wrong, Brex. You're not wrong about that. So that's going to be it for game one. We'll take a break. Game number 2 is going to be right around the corner. And TnC proved that they are mortal. You know, the Prime.NND able to take that victory and prove that, in fact, TnC You know, they have some weaknesses, and that game was, I think, a big show of it. Now, will they lose again? Remember, TnC, in order for them to not be able to make it to the China Supermajor, they have to lose this series and then another game on top of this series, I believe, considering that's where everybody else stands. So still a lot at stake here. I do want us to take a break because we do have to get into our next game. So stick around, guys. Game number 2 coming up soon. right, everybody. I hate to interrupt your smooth jazz renditions of Mario 64, but we are into our next game of this series. It is the Prime.NND versus TnC here in the China Dota 2 Supermajor SEA qualifiers, and it is a huge game. TnC losing the first game in this series, I think rather surprisingly to a lot of people. This is their first loss of the entire Supermajor qualifiers, and in order for the Prime to make it, they need to desperately win this game, and then, of course, win against Fnatic, which is their last series of the day, and we'll see that a little bit later. But more importantly right now is this game. Kind of a microcosm of this entire region and this entire qualifier, I'd say right now. There's a lot at stake here, Brax. A lot.
That's right, Mont. Victory or defeat is on the line here.
It's very true. It's much like your 50-50 comment earlier. It's the same thing.
Pretty much. Look at that. TnC, they banned out the Kunkka in the first phase, so they don't want to have to deal with that.
I didn't think they were going to ban it out first phase. I think it's important to note, though, the games that the Prime.NND have won have had the Kunkka, and I think every game they've lost has not had the Kunkka. I'm pretty sure, if that makes any sense.
By the stats basically just tell me that they've lost this game already then.
Yeah, essentially. Because that's how Dota works, I believe. But,
last time I checked, mod stats don't lie.
Jeez, we really need to get Nahaz in here.
Radiant team pick.
All right, there's Tiny. The Rockman comes out. TnC, they've already got a pretty good draft. Every time I see Tiny, I'm just like, oh, this hero's gross. But there is the lifesteal for the Prime.NND. This is a great pick against the Tiny. He's just one of those heroes that does well against the Tiny in lane.
Yep, in lane and all throughout the game.
Yes.
And I assume Prime.NND are going to ban out the Terrorblade at some point. I mean, you have to expect it when you pick up the Lifestealer, so that's always a very scary hero. TnC, what are they going to ban? I mean, the Prime have shown Sand King Lifestealer, so most likely they're 4 and 1 position hero. Yep, the Prime ban out the Terrorblade. TnC ban out Ancient Apparition.
By the way, going back to that original stat, it was true for us, except the Kunkka was picked, or the games that the Kunkka was picked, they won. The games that the Kunkka was not picked, they lost. But what is they were on the other stream and they won 2-0 against Geek Fam, and they didn't have the Kunkka once there. So as good as that stat was, it was a little skewed, sadly.
Oh, jeez, making me look like a fool.
Yeah, sorry, bud. That's what I'm here for, though. Usually, well, more to make myself look like a fool than you. So,
well, I appreciate the you making me look like a fool. You have to keep me in check, though, to make sure I'm not too stupid.
Yeah, like that prediction last game. I really felt good about that one.
Good.
10 seconds.
Not really. Anyway, so we have Nyx Assassin again, this time for TnC. We have a couple more bands coming out. The Underlord, fair enough. One of the better offlane heroes now. The Prime have the 4 Sand King. In terms of what's still available in the offlane, I guess Abaddon has been picked a lot, but mostly for Universe. What else is there?
Radiant team pick.
In the offlane for the Prime, I mean, there's still a lot of heroes. It just depends which way they want to take it, right? They see the Gyrocopter. Pretty interesting to see Gyro into the Lifestealer. Usually you think of Lifestealer as the hero that comes out after Gyrocopter to counter him, but I guess it does offer a lot of early fight potential, and it does scale pretty nicely into the late game. And just a comfort hero overall. So yeah. Offlaners, though, up against Gyrocopter. Underlord's been banned out. What else do we have?
Puck would have been good, but it's also been banned.
Yep.
Because we saw that last game. As long as you can get this Gyro locked down, he's pretty squishy even with a BKB. Especially against somebody like the Lifestealer when he got farmed. Really, what else is there?
Witch Doctor.
That's not an offlaner, though.
No, he's not. So Omni's banned out. I mean, you have Tide Hunter, but I don't think it's a fantastic Titan game, especially against the Gyros. It's okay later on in the game, but in lane, not so much. Maybe this could be the Night Stalker offlane.
Oh, yeah.
Been seeing a lot more of that lately. Looks pretty strong.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, I think it's good.
The thing is, it just feels like if he doesn't get off to that start, it's like Venomancer. It feels like a glorified support. I guess that's any offlaner, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's even more prevalent in Night Stalker because the hero does not farm very well at all, right?
Right.
There's no AoE, no ways to clear creep waves, so yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
The Bane comes out for TnC, so Bane, Nyx Assassin, the support duo. The good setup, Bane has the Nightmare for the Nyx if they want to go for the Impale. It's a lot of damage, especially in the Bane can kind of help the Gyro on his own. They don't necessarily need the next Assassin bottom to deal with whatever offlane hero there is. Magnus could theoretically be the choice for the Prime. It's an okay hero with Lifestealer with the Empower. But the hero seems pretty hit or miss, and it's not been picked that often recently.
Yeah, what has Nefari played recently?
Void.
I'm trying to think of his heroes. Okay,
Which is
Void,
banned.
yeah. Definitely not a good Void game, though.
No.
You already have the Lifestealer, so... Yeah,
The
I'm
only
really
thing
not sure.
they've been playing has been Void, Underlord, Puck. And I think that's it, actually.
Well, and he's been banned out, Mott.
They did offlane Sand King, I think, in one of their games yesterday.
Oh, yeah, they did. I remember that as well.
So that's probably it then, right? It has to be.
The Sand King's such a good roaming 4 position hero, though.
I know. I agree with you, but it's probably easier to play the Sand King offlane than it is to think of a hero that's actually decent now.
I guess there's still the Tusk available, too, right? So they can do the Tusk support with the Sand King offlane.
That's actually really surprising that Tusk is still available. But you can't ban every hero.
Yep, and you also don't really want to waste it in the second phase when both teams are already potentially showing their 4 position hero, so... But yeah, but this is where things can change for the Prime.NND.
And they're going to have that pick come out here in the next 10 seconds.
TnC
And it is going to be the Clockwork. And now the question is he the roaming supporter or is he the offlaner?
I'm going to assume he's the... Actually, you're right. I have no idea. He can be both. I call him the Tin Man Trash Can, because I don't think he's a very good hero. But every now and then, he has great games.
He's not quite the hero he used to
10
be.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Gone are the days where this hero has played in the offlane consistently.
Radiant team
You
back.
know, the Clockwork players of old, the Universes, the Bulbas, they've moved on from this hero.
He used to be feared in the offlane, but now he kind of gets laughed at in the offlane.
Yeah, he's just like, at least he can cog block, which is kind of nice. You know?
Yeah, that's true. And he does have
10
a
seconds
pretty decent
remaining.
matchup into the Gyrocopter when he gets the Blade Mail. He can hook in, cog, pop the
5
Blade Mail, and then
seconds
Gyrocopter
remaining.
kills himself. That's always great.
Yeah, that's good news at least.
Radiant
Yeah.
team pick.
I'm not so sure how it's going to work. I kind of hope it's the roaming 4 because I think Sand King, you know, Clockwork gets level 6 and then he doesn't get any items and it's like, okay, well, now he's just a support. Sand King gets, you know, his Blink Dagger, and if he can get it early enough by being in the offlane, I think it's way more
10 seconds
important, I
remaining.
guess.
No, I know what you mean. He
5
scales a bit
seconds
harder. He can actually get to that place where he can farm those items, and of course, in the offlane, he'll probably get more levels. And the Clockwork can also cog block for him. Razor. Okay.
That seems like a fine pick. BKB builder against the Gyrocopter and the Tiny. He can static link a lot of the damage away. They're pretty single target focused, though. I mean, Plasma Field and Eye of the Storm are fine. They do have the
10
Epicenter to
seconds
fall back
remaining.
on, along with the Cask and the Maledict, but
5
I think it's
seconds
probably a fine
remaining.
pick. Seems pretty good.
Yep, looks okay. Very, very strong early game fighting lineup from both these teams again. These guys are battlers, Mod. They farm a lot, but they also fight a lot.
It was impressive how much they farmed, especially in the Prime.NND, for how often they battled pretty early. You know, the Lifestealer had a pretty late armlet too, but he caught up nicely. And not just like through kills, but just through straight up farming, which Lifestealers are usually not very good at. He did it really well in that game.
Yeah, I agree. No, his armlet was super, super late. We were looking at the net worth like 15 minutes in the game, and it was looking pretty worrying for Lifestealer, but they split pushed the entire game with Kunkka and Puck, and eventually Lifestealer got enough space to farm.
Right.
So what's it going to be from TnC? Right, they see this Razor in the mid lane, but if they pick a hero that's pretty good against Razor, well, what they might do is they can... Oh, excuse me, I got the case of the hiccups.
Yeah, you're good.
What they can do is they can put the Gyro mid, which isn't a fantastic... It's a pretty bad matchup into the Razor.
Yeah.
But that lets you pick another carry hero, because otherwise you have to pick another carry into the Razor, and then you're probably going to have a horrible matchup just to begin with.
Yeah. It's kind of... It's a bit of a tough situation for TnC right now. Even if the Tiny goes mid, I feel like he's... Like, doesn't Tiny versus... Like, Tiny usually has really good lane matchups pretty much everywhere, except for against Lifestealer. Doesn't Tiny kind of get owned by Razor, though? It feels like he can do a lot against the Tiny.
He definitely can do a lot against the Tiny, but to do that, he has to run in and link him, right? And then that kind of sets Tiny up for this avalanche stun combo into the tower on a support hero, perhaps, so you can bait the Razor out that way.
Right.
If you don't really respect it, and then that could always backfire. And Razor, of course, this hero, He needs a pretty solid early game, or else he doesn't transition that well. Doesn't farm too fast. It's TnC to play the Tusk. Okay.
They now
So
have the Nyx
mid-kite.
off lane, and you're really hoping that this Gyro and Tiny can get farmed, because your Nyx assassin is, you know, he will have like a blink and pale like the Sand King has a blink burrow strike. I don't know how I feel about off lane, or I think it's off lane Nyx assassin, right?
Yeah, it should be.
So
He'll have a shard block from that Tusk, so his lane phase is a bit better. But no, I know exactly what you're saying. Nyx assassin in the offlane. This hero doesn't pressure anything. You know,
Yeah.
he's a survivor. He doesn't actually dominate the lane.
that's like the difference, is that when you're the Sand King and you are in a melee matchup, you have Caustic, you have another hero to help you with potentially, and you can start putting pressure on melee
5
heroes.
seconds remaining.
And of course, he scales really well. You know, Epicenter is pretty great. Nyx Assassin, even when he gets level 6, it feels like he still might need some help in order to get kills. Of course, that's true for the Sand King as well. I don't know. Raven is playing the Nyx Assassin, and Sandwich is playing the Tiny. And now I'm very concerned / confused, and I really hope they swap it, and I think they probably will. I think they just wanted to give...
It must be for Raven's badass Nyx set, right?
I mean,
Look
that
at
is
thing.
really cool looking. He's got freaking, like, diamonds on his hand, or his claws, so... Good stuff. Well, all right. I'm just gonna... I want to ask you, whose draft do you like better? You know, what are you thinking about this Dire draft especially?
I like the Prime.NND's draft quite a bit. I mean, it looks like a free lifestealer game. There's not very much that does anything to him. Like, it's just Bane grip, but usually when you're taking a team fight on your terms, you can kind of play around that, have someone else interrupt the Bane or even jump the Bane. Just looks like a great lifestealer game. And Raven is still on the Nyx assassin, so
That's a bit
troubling.
disconcerting. They did pause, so I'm assuming they're gonna wait until he's back if he's AFK and then swap him that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
What-
They just
Okay.
swapped. More smoke breaks or something. We had a pretty long
That's
break in
right.
between the two games, and now we have another break. So hopefully we get back into it pretty soon. And yeah, we're good.
It's go time.
It is. So
So yeah, I think that the Prime.NND have a lot to work with in the draft. They have 2 vehicles, the lifestealer. Razor should have a pretty decent lane phase, unless, of course, it gets tossed into the tower. But I think it's going to be the Gyro. Yep, Armel is playing it with the mid build, so yeah.
yes, indeedy. The Wraith Band, 2 shared tangos, the Fairy Fire. He'll probably have his salve sent out. So Gyro versus Razor. I mean, you can spam the homing missile and you can do a lot of magic damage, but the static link is going to be rough. There's no boots for the Razor yet, though, so he won't have that advantage that you usually see sometimes where Razor players go for boots first. But I think overall, having a Wraith Band just helps you last it better instead of just having the boots in order to rely on the static link damage.
Yep, it's more stable, especially against the low base damage of Gyrocopter.
Plus, you like building a
Helps
Gila,
quite a bit.
too.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is fine. Both teams getting a little aggressive, although Kel'Thuzad is in a pretty good position to avoid a gank. TnC will find 2 bounty runes. I think the opposite team, the Prime, will also find the 2. They do have the clockwork up top. They're probably going to cog block for Nefari, and we'll see if he can't get a good start in this game. And he's against the Tiny, and Tiny should still do fine, but the Caustic Finale might be a nuisance. I'm not sure.
It's pretty annoying, but with the True Grab Tinykin lane, the Sand King just fine. Pretty much acts like a range hero.
Yeah.
And when Sand King's up in that creep web, the cleave hits him over and over, so both heroes are fine.
We'll see how much farm the Sand King can actually get. The Nyx Assassin, conversely, I'm assuming he's going to go Arcanes and a Blink Dagger. Is there any other... You could go Helm of the Dom, theoretically, on both of these heroes. I'm not sure I would
haven't
like
seen
that.
on Nyx Assassin yet.
I don't think
but
I've seen it on Sand King either.
I saw it today, actually. Snake King built it. He went for a no blink build. Helm of the Dominator into the pipe.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How did that work out?
They won. It was pretty good.
Was that... who were they playing in that game?
I forgot.
Okay. Well, I put
Sorry.
you on the spot. Sorry, bud.
Well, it's okay.
At least you knew. And now we have a little bit more information that we might actually see the Sand King Helmet Dominator for Nefari. I would be more surprised if he actually did go for it. We'll see if that's the case. Meanwhile, bottom, Kel'Thuzad is going to have Enfeebled. This is the issue when you're playing against a main and you're a lifestealer. You now only have 20 damage, and even the Nyx Assassin doesn't do very much damage. If you're Enfeebled, you can't really get last hits. So there's that.
There is that indeed.
And also they have the
Very, very
Tusk mid
hard.
too, so 2 lanes actually going pretty well for... In fact, all 3 lanes going really well for TnC right now.
Yeah, with that extra hero in the mid lane, it's really difficult for Razor to take Gyro on a long, extended walk just because there's always a threat of shards in the Storm Ultimate. There it is, but
Okay, that's
just 12 damage.
12 damage. He could have chased. They didn't have shards. They were on cooldown for another 5 seconds or so. But I guess he didn't. Yeah, it's just a little dangerous, especially against the Gyrocopter. Although he has homing missile level 1, he's going to probably go Rocket Barrage level 2. Varese is going to sit mid, so he can't help out the Sand King in the top lane. I think this is going to be a really good laning phase for TnC. And the last game had a really good laning phase for them as well. And we'll see if they can't carry that into the early to mid game.
Yeah, the Enfeebled down bottom is destroying Kel'Thuzar's life. Not much he can do at all, and actually Pandy might die.
Yeah, he's dead. The claw comes out. He had Brain Sap, didn't even really need to use it. More than enough damage coming in. And this lane seems pretty awful for the Prime.NND.
You know, there's not really anything they can do about it, too. Even if Clockwork comes in, it's like he's still going to get Enfeebled. Over and over.
They could try running at the Bane and killing him, but nah, with him being enfeebled, they don't have enough damage, I don't think. So it's probably better for them to focus on the top lane for Nefari and the mid lane for the Razor. The Razor's fine. He's actually ahead of the Gyrocopter. This Tusk is also just leeching the experience now. And this is going to give the Razor a level advantage, at least for now. So they're kind of just sacking the Lifestealer, essentially. And he actually is dead, I think. Brain Sack comes in. He does have a stick charge. He does use it. He's got tangos. He's not using them, though. TP would be inadvisable at this point. It's a good thing he didn't use it, because then it would have just been on cooldown. And that's a dead Lifestealer.
Yep, double damage Bane.
Oh, is that
Not
it?
fun.
Yeah. I didn't even notice. He already has a lot of base damage, 67 with just a wand. You had a double damage on top of that. It's pretty strong as a support hero.
Yep, that's double. Twice as much damage.
Again, simple math. But Kel'Thuzard, he'll get some CS, but not enough to really have any early items. It's going to take him a while to get to the armlet that he had in the previous game if he wants to go that route. The Sand King, however, is doing just fine. They have a link now onto Armel, and your dream is going to get dove. They have the snowball. He has stick charges and a fairy fire. He's going to use one and now the other. The rocket barrage coming out, but Armel actually can't get anything on it. Tim's battery assault going. They need one more auto attack, and they find the kill. And now they have a salve. He's going to pop it. And that's pretty rough for TnC.
Goodness, 112 damage Storm. That's a lot. That's like a triple damage.
For a level 2 static link, yeah, that's insane. You know, that's pretty big, and they kind of needed that considering how bottom's been going. Meanwhile, Varese is going to try to find Cuckoo. Oh, that's just so sad. You hate to see it. I'm going to hit you with my battery assault. Oh, just kidding. I don't have the range on it. I think this is a reason why this hero is not very good right now, Brax.
Yeah, quite unfortunate. You have to be in melee range. Bane's super fast as well. If that was a different hero that didn't have, good movement speed, that might have worked out. But yeah.
Oh,
he's still been doing work in the mid lane though.
Yeah, he's done a nice job for sure, considering the hero that he's on. I don't remember what Kel'Thuzar bought, Treads or Phase last time. I remember he had Treads in his quick buy, but I don't remember what he actually purchased at the end of the game.
He had Treads.
Okay. Now he's going to go a different route, which I suppose makes sense. You already have the Razor to fall back on, and also Phase is going to help you a lot more earlier on when, he's getting shut down, I suppose. Maybe there's another reason for it, maybe just to get out of a tough situation.
He just wants the damage. The Phase are better for fighting early on as well.
Yeah.
Better for farming.
That's kind of what I mean. That's what I meant to say. It didn't come out the right way. But Tiny getting free farm. Sand King a little behind it, but not by much. Raven's going to have an early set of treads, and the Blink will, I'm sure, follow up after that. The other heroes, mid lane, Gyrocopter, still doing okay, but he's a level behind of Armel now. A full level behind, in fact. Or almost a full level. And things have slowed down a little bit. A 1-2 kill score, not the highest impact early game or not the highest kill score we've seen in some of these games, but we've settled in, and surprisingly enough, even though top and mid have been going pretty well for the Prime, there is a 1k lead for TnC, and a lot of that is in fact coming in the bottom lane.
Oh man, that was very awkward.
What happened?
Cuckoo slept our Kel'Thuzar on his Lifestealer, and then Samage tried to impale, but they both did it at the same time, so the impale just missed. But right through him.
It is embarrassing how many times I've nightmared when somebody has a stun on my team because I didn't think they had the mana for it. It was on cooldown or something like that. We don't usually miss out on the kill, but it's not a good look.
Oh, quite embarrassing.
And Nefari is going Helm of the Dominator. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised because this item is broken, but still. That's pretty incredible to me. Passing up the early Blink Dagger for a Helm of the Dom. And I know it's the right decision, too, because the item's so good, but...
Yep, it's nice to see the how the game has changed right up top.
This is a tough
We got
kill.
some action.
This is a Tiny with level 6. That toss back is going to make Varys' life really bad. And he might die. Yep, he's dead. What? I don't know what you think's going to happen here. He's going to epi. Maybe they get the kill? No.
Oh, man, not even close.
Yeah, that was not the play.
Oh.
I
Raven
think,
missed
did they
the
go
tree
right as he
toss.
went to 6th? Like, did they go right? Like, I don't... Meanwhile, they get the kill onto the Lifestealer bottom. They're going to try to go for a Silico and Cuckoo. And he might not even get it. Sap's back up in 4, and the battery assaults. Oh, that's depressing. He needs a flare or something. He got the auto attack, though. Somehow, Varese gets that kill. But 2 kills that really go the way of TnC. Like, they lose the Lifestealer. They lose the Varese Clockwork top lane. That was a disastrous attempt at a gank in that top lane.
That was, right? Look at Tiny's health pool. I mean, this guy is super, super tanky. He's not going to die to these nukes.
This was out with... He has no treads and he's 1,300 HP, Brax.
That's right. He's a
What?
strong boy.
Are you kidding?
He's very strong. Look
That's
at him.
ridiculous. Oh, the Razor's dead.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And now they're going to lose this Witch Doctor as well. The TP team, it is kind of spiraling out of control all of a sudden. His Armor will find himself a double kill. The Maledict's not going to tick him down. And... let's see. For comparison, the Nyx Assassin is level 6. He has 758 HP, Brax. He has almost... The Tiny almost has double the life of the Nyx Assassin. Well, he's 1 level ahead, but still.
Crazy stuff, huh?
Yeah, I don't... Yeah,
Dire's middle tower.
that's all I have to say about that.
Well, take it up with the balance team.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm just going to say that I'm not complaining.
Okay, okay.
I really need to make that
Just
clear to
making
you,
sure.
Brax. No complaints here. Razor's dead again. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, they don't have call down. I thought it was 6 on the gyrocopter. I spoke too soon. But they had the way... They were able to kill him last time around without the call down. Kel'Thuzar's
all
going to
that,
get more room. Oh, he did go treads. He actually went the treads on the Lifestealer.
Okay.
And hey, he can actually lay now that there's no enfeeble on him.
Incredible, isn't it?
It's great.
But look who's coming back.
Oh, no. No. Don't give him the Q. The good news for the Bane is that the Q is such a long range. It's actually pretty big. It's probably more than
Always
you'd
pretty
think.
much- You can always apply it safely, right?
Yeah. And I think that's really useful. I really like Bane as a hero right now. I've been playing a lot of him recently. It's really just setting up the kills, having the Fiend's grip on your team. You can do it all yourself, essentially. You know, you might need a hero or two there with you, but if you can get a Fiend's grip off and your team's semi-competent, you should be able to win a team fight or get a kill or two.
He's also just so strong in the early game that nobody can really mess with you.
Yeah.
He bullies everyone.
And I think this is the right build. The Enfeeble, then the level 3 Brain Sap. You have Nightmare to set things up. They don't have enough damage to kill Varese. Level 4. He's trying to run. Good cogs. And Sam H is dead, actually. Varese is going to get off a good battery assault. The sleep comes out. Sam H is going to finally fall. The snowball comes a little too late, but Kel'Thuzar, good and fast. He jumps out. He was looking for Tims. He might have just needed to stay, and now he's dead. Maybe not. He has Rage. I didn't think he had it. The homing missile will come out and does nothing. They didn't have Loris Punch. Tusk was not close enough to level 6 for it to be for them to have that TP cancel. So really important kill onto Sam H, and Kel'Thuzar gets himself to safety.
Dire's middle
Yep, very
tower
nice play.
is
It
under
would have been
pressure.
horrific if he went down there in front of his tower, but stays alive for now. You know, this armlet's going to be slower than last game's armlet, and last game's armlet was terribly slow. But
Yeah.
you know, he showed it didn't even matter.
It might matter this game. But the good news, I suppose, is Nefari went back for the Blink Dagger. He's about to have it in 30 gold. And I think that's probably fine, considering if he doesn't have that Blink, I don't think they can do anything on this team. You know, they would just have to sit back and try to farm and then lose all the next fights. So with the Blink Dagger, this is a critical timing. Blink Sand King with a good epicenter can win you the game. And we'll see if it can here for Nefari.
Yep, definitely. They need that Blink Dagger to actually take engagements. Sam H in is up top.
Oh
and
my god,
Carapace.
buy your blink, buy your blink, buy your blink, buy your blink, buy your blink. He actually didn't
He's
die.
alive.
The tree toss is not enough damage. Okay. I think you should still buy your blink anyway, but okay.
Well, he knew.
He knew.
This guy's a mathematician. He knew that he wasn't going to die.
He definitely did the math.
Radiant structures.
I thought Sam H was going to wait for the creep to die so we could use the Carapace off the Caustic for that extra damage, but...
Oh.
even
That would have been a nice
probably wouldn't
play.
have done it. Yeah.
Speaking of, well, now speaking of Raven, I suppose, in the Tiny, he is going for a Shadow Blade, and he's the top net worth hero, not surprisingly. They did find a Fiend's Grip. That'll be onto the Sand King. His Blink, wow, that, okay. Oh, they were waiting for the next Assassin, but they found him over here for Vreeze somehow.
Radiant's top tower.
And they get a D-Ward. What a turn of events for the Prime. Great stuff.
Prime.
Oh, they saw the blink, I think. I don't know if they pinged it. They should know that it's up, though.
Yep. And, you know, the problem with Blink, it's a great item and everything, but when you have that Blink, you don't really want to show in lanes anymore, right? When you have the Helm of the Dominator, you're constantly in their face, pressuring all the time, but with the Blink, you're lurking in the darkness like this all the time.
Oh,
Tiny can just push the wave into you.
I really hope they don't go on this Tiny again.
He's so tanky.
That would be one of the most ridiculous mistakes they could make in this stage of the game. After they have one less hero. I think they're just sitting here trying to push the wave out or something. They need like 4 heroes to kill this Tiny. Definitely the Clockwork, the Witch Doctor, and the Sand King, even with Epicenter, are not going to be enough to kill him. They need the Lifestealer or the Razor in order to do it. And I think he needs to go to a different lane. The Sand King can go bottom and try to take a fight, and he's actually doing that finally. He might have wanted to do it earlier. Cuckoo's going to run into Vreeze, and that's not really the kill they wanted. But now they might find more. Sam H is going to come in. Epicenter's going to get channeled. Here we go. They've got the Burrow Strike. This is beautiful for Nefari. The Snowball comes out. It's already too dead. The Tiny is coming in with the Shadow Blade. The Tree Thwack coming in. It's too much damage. The Infest out. They're going to turn this around. A perfect timing of the Shadow Blade. The Rage GP, but Kel'Thuzad is dead. A double kill for Raven. They do get the Sand King out in time, but it is going to be a 2-for-2 trade. And that turned around real quick for TnC. Whew.
Oh, man. What perfect timing for Raven Shadowblade to get to him, right? That was amazing.
He came in and gave him the tree. The level 4 tree came through. And he crushed him with it. Good stuff. Meanwhile, they found the sleep on the Witch Doctor, who's desperately trying to get level 6, but he's going to have to wait a little longer. That Mana Burn and Brain Sap together looked pretty brutal.
Oh, man. You have no mana. You've got no brains. You're dead.
You need those brains. It's important. Yeah, Brain Sap sounds pretty awful when you think about it. Like, as like a real thing.
Yeah, sounds very, very powerful.
Anyway. They have the cloak on Razor. His drum is finally finished. I shouldn't say finally. He's actually doing pretty well. It is still a very close game, but I like the play that TnC are making. They do get this deep ward down. The Razor is in a lot of trouble. They have the grip. They need a TP. He has the cloak, which might keep him alive. They have the snowball in the call down. He can drum. He's not going to. Yeah, I think he just knew he was dead. That's a big commitment for TnC, but getting the kill is even bigger.
Yep, for sure. And the TnC, whenever they make these ganks, they always find the core heroes, right? Like Kel'Thuzad died bottom lane, now In Your Dream dies in the Razor. They're not sitting here, you know, picking on support heroes. They're always looking for these farmers.
He almost saw Raven as he Shadowbladed. They smoke. They need detection. They have dust. And it's going to break. They need to dust right now. Varys is not using it. I'm surprised he's still not dusting. The dust finally comes out. The cast only keeps him alive for a moment longer. They're going to lose their Witch Doctor. Epicenter, oh, he got stunned, I think, by the Avalanche.
The Carapace.
Yeah, the Carapace. And this is going to be all 5 dead. Kel'Thuzad's dead. I think he has to infest into a creep. And they could just wait. Maybe he survives now because he's close to the tier 2 tower. I think he does. Great fight, though, from TnC. The Shadowblade is doing so much work for this Tiny. It is literally winning them these fights, I think.
Yep, Raven's just scouting at the enemy team, sitting there, waiting every time, and it gives you that extra damage needed to burst one of these heroes, even with the only level 2 toss. Right, he gets the max tree grab for the lane phase, so... Very nice, good stuff.
Nightmare onto In Your Dream. Varese coming in. This actually might be bad for Cuckoo more than anything else. Oh, this Link's not going to do anything, though. The cogs actually hurt more than they helped in that engagement. Plasma Field, Burrow Strike, but only on to TN's. It's going to be both supports dying, which is nice, and it's a double kill for the Razor. But it's not actually... I mean, they'll get the tier 1 tower, which is way more significant than those 2 kills, I think.
Yep, for sure. They finally get something started, but in the meantime, TnC, Armel farming bottom, Raven farming top. You know, the core is just still alive, right? Everything is A-okay for TnC.
If they can somehow kill this Tiny, he's a pinata. He's 2,000 net worth ahead of the next closest person. He's almost at a blink dagger. And he's given more than enough space for Raven or Armel on the Gyrocopter, excuse me. He's almost got BKB.
Oh, that's what pinata. That's what you mean by pinata, huh? There's a lot of prizes, a lot of stuff when you die.
Yes. You know, I say that a lot. I'm surprised you finally got it. Good stuff.
Sorry, I'm a little slow.
That's okay. Me too.
I didn't have too many pinatas growing up.
I had one once. I think I was really afraid of hitting it or something. Let me tell you guys, I was really bad at baseball when I was growing up. It's a good thing I played non-contact, you know, non-hand-eye coordination sports because I'm pretty terrible at that stuff. I think I like blinked.
Gentle soul.
I blinked every time a baseball came at me. And Nefari's going to have to blink now. He's going to get forced away. It's his own force. He has a burrow. He doesn't use it now. He finally does. The snowball's coming in. Nope, it's off. Tim's getting run down, and so is Raven. They would like to find the Tiny if possible. Kel'Thuzar's too slow. This is the issue with not going for phase boots. If he had phase boots, he could chase down one of these heroes, but he doesn't. And they didn't pop their drum charge. And if they did, he wasn't there for it.
Yep, Raven's still camping, though. Trying to find a hero to blow up. Maybe they can set up onto Kel'Thuzar. Yep, Sam H.
Can they? Oh, they have Sam H, yeah. Kel'Thuzar walking a little too far up here. He's probably dead. Rage. He got it off.
Oh,
he has to TP.
Rage.
He doesn't have TP. Raven's going to have to force or get forced by Sam H, though. Kel'Thuzar does a lot of damage to this Tiny for sure, and that's really the one good thing about this Tiny being so big is that the Raven, or excuse me, Kel'Thuzar can actually still do damage to him.
Yep, it's true. Feast just rips through the Tiny still, so... And things aren't so bad for the Prime.NND. Gold is very close together, but... I don't know. It feels like they're the ones running around the entire time trying to stop TnC from farming, and TnC are just farming everywhere while still making plays of their own.
Well, I felt like that happened in the first game, and I didn't think they were going to have the late game.
Then it just got blown open.
Yeah. Rough game. And the Sand King needs to run as fast as he possibly can, and he still might die if he's not careful. They have 3 wards in this top lane. A very good scan from the Radiant. And they are pinging like crazy. And they're going to run through the jungle and maybe find this Razor. The Bane has grip, I think? No, he used it in that last fight. But they have Nightmare. This is very dangerous for In Your Dream. Oh, he knows. They're going to find him. They need to TP in, and they are. They're going to try to find the Burrow Strike. It's just the Bane. And they haven't even killed him yet. The cast will finally come through. Still, it's a nice kill because they're going to give it to In Your Dream. And they do finally do it. Come on,
Jesus.
Razor. You can't say that.
Zapped your ass.
That's inappropriate. This is a Dota game.
Yep, we like to keep things G-rated here, please.
Yeah.
Mind your language.
Yes. You're talking to the guy that's sworn like 5 times already in this cast.
Well, G. Willikers mod, make sure you cut that out.
All right, OP. Thanks. You know, if you don't get that, OP's the character from the Andy Griffith Show. I don't even know why I know this, to be honest. That show's like around in the 1950s or some shit like that.
All right.
It was Ron Howard's character who was like the son of Andy Griffith. He's just I don't know, he's a do-gooder. I'm glad we took that turn. We've learned a lot today, from Rush to the Andy Griffith Show. We're really covering all our bases here. We're also covering the fact that this was a ward that scouted out the movement from the Prime yet again.
Dire are scanning.
You know, I may not have gotten that reference. In my mind, I was thinking more Ned Flanders.
Yeah, that's close enough, except it's like a younger version of Ned Flanders. It's just a kid, essentially. It's a kid Ned Flanders without the mustache. Cuckoo's dead.
I would assume so.
Hey, man, you don't know. When I was in 5th grade, I had a mustache, all right? So
That's impressive, actually.
I was 5'9" in 5th grade with facial hair, more facial hair than some kids had in middle school and high school. It was bad. It was a bad time.
Is that bad or good?
Dude, the mustache on a 5th grader is not a good look. It's
Oh.
not like a real mustache, you know what I mean? It's the kid mustache.
Yep, yep.
Well, anyway, I guess we should get back to the game. There's a BKB up for the Razor here in a few 100 gold. Although he might die. They glyphed. Fariz is going to try to find Tim's. They have an Invis rune on the tusk. They need to leave immediately. And they're going to TP out, and they might actually be able to get everybody away. That's a lot committed if they can't find a single kill out of this. They all rotated together, and now it's more space for the rest of the team.
My, oh my.
And
all out of there.
More importantly, I think, Brax, this entire area of the map was covered by wards for TnC, and they're finally all gone. They don't have that same vision advantage that they used to have. So good news for the Prime in that regard.
Yep, it's true. So Tiny, while he is a strong hero, he definitely does not solo carry games. He's like the even in the safe lane, he does play like a 2-position hero. So he's good at getting in there, bursting a hero, but then his cooldowns are extremely long. So he is a slow boy, and he gets kited a lot.
Yeah, and we might see that here if they take a fight. Good vision from the Prime. They're going to see the smoke, and they ping it out immediately. But this is the BKB, and I don't think they saw Armel pick it up. So they might be overconfident in their ability to take this fight.
There have been so many smokes scattered in this series, in both games.
They should see the ice shards here, so they know they're exactly walking in this direction.
Yep, and that rocket flare probably let them know that TnC, or sorry, that the Prime have spotted them, right?
Yeah.
They should have an idea. So many pings. They're even pinging up on the high ground.
They even scan. This is a really good scan. They know exactly where they are. The ward, though, it's going to get dewarded. Now they're going to jump Raven. They're going to find the Witch Doctor, and already this fight's going pretty well for TnC. Hook shot onto the Bane. Epicenter's going to go, but Armel has a BKB, and the Razor's now dead. This is a pretty disastrous engagement for the Prime.NND. They have Kel'Thuzar, but everybody is still fighting fit. They've even got the grip. The grip actually was delayed because of the hook shot, and now they're going to lose everybody in this game for the Prime.NND. Kel'Thuzar will try to man-fight Raven, but the Walrus Punch comes out. Raven gets the Echo Saber hit, and even with the advantage of knowing when the smoke comes, they did not react quickly enough once that ward came down.
Man, the confidence from TnC. They place that ward, it gets dewarded instantly, and Raven just jumps in and blows them up. I wanted to talk about this earlier, but we had a lot of important things to talk about, so I just forgot. But Nyx Assassin destroys Razor. If Razor wants to press his Plasma Field, well, he just opened himself up to a Spike Carapace stun. And Eye of the Storm, same thing. Nyx Assassin gets in there, gets in real close, just stuns him. Chain stuns him for such a long time.
Yeah, but these issues can be remedied with a BKB. So instead of going for a Hood first, he could have just gone straight BKB. He would have had it by now. I don't think the Hood saved him in any of these fights either.
No, it hasn't, but still. It's one of these things where you don't want a BKB every time you Plasma Field, right? What happens if you're Plasma Fielding for a creep wave and they're setting up, then it's pretty... Then it's problematic for sure. But yeah. You're right, BKB is the answer to all those problems. All the damage on TnC is basically magic at this point of the game.
Yeah, and it's going to be for the almost remainder of the game until the Showercopter actually hits a peak, where he's not just using his Rocket Barrage and Call Down. He needs items in order to actually do damage. They just need these BKBs up, or rather the one BKB, because they already have Rage. Kel'Thuzar is staying alive in these fights just fine, but they're not able to find any further damage because the Razor's dead, and usually within 10 seconds of the engagement starting.
Yep, these fights are all over so quickly too. Razor wants a long drawn-out fight so we can, use the static link. But he's just not getting that.
So this game a bit harder than the previous one. The Prime.NND kept the game close enough last game that it was like a 2-3K lead for them for the most part. But TnC have done a great job applying pressure. Really, the vision was great for them for the beginning of the game, and then they just the Shadow Blade for the Tiny. They found a lot of the kills just through the itemization that they have on these heroes.
Yep, the itemization, just superior movement that these items allow, right? Shadow Blade, scouting all these heroes in the back lines, sees the smoke, sits there, camps the high ground. And look at this from Tim's down bottom. He has the Tinker Ward, so they can scout out any possible heroes camping in the trees, any free targets. Good stuff. This is how you make things happen safely, right? Because, Tiny, he wants to sit in the silence and pick off heroes like this Lone Witch Doctor.
Oh
but you don't want to feed doing it, and this will help you not feed.
This Witch Doctor might be dead, but they might find the Nyx. They need to dust. They need to dust. They need to dust. They dusted. They find the hook shot. A little slow on the draw there, but they're still going to find it, and they might even find more. They've actually got Cuckoo, and Sam H is going to say that's fine. That is way better. That trade is a million times better than Sam H going down. Kel'Thuzar is running it on Armel. He wants to force the BKB, but now he's really far up. The toss comes out. There's the Impale. They need something to save him. They just don't have anything. This is another awful fight. They find Sam H. They actually are finding Tim's too. In Your Dream finally has his BKB. They have Link back in one, so it actually turns into a 3-for-2. And I thought that was going to be terrible, but it turned out pretty well. It's not over yet though. Raven popped the Shadow Blade, and they still could easily find a couple of kills. The dust, did it hit? It did not hit. I think they thought it did, but they didn't quite find it.
Yep, they're looking for him. But yep, you're right. That fight it looked bad for Edit.
Prime, the Prime.
The Prime. It looked bad, but the 10-second raise for BKB came out and everything was fine.
Dire's top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
that's... See what happens when you have a BKB?
Good things happen.
It's just the game-winning item, guys. And I know everybody hates building it, especially in pubs, because it's boring.
It makes me look like a tryhard.
Exactly. Oh, God, that's like the biggest... That kind of bothers me about high-level pubs, is like a lot of you high MMR players actually think that way. I don't think you actually do, but maybe you do?
No, I feel like that's a way of the past. That's how it was maybe 6-7 years ago when there was no matchmaking. Or sorry, not matchmaking. There was no ranks in Dota 2.
You didn't want to be known as the tryhard player?
I mean, I didn't care, but that's how a lot of people were.
I guess
I feel like it's died off.
a lot of players like Envy who always really give it his all unless he knows the game is lost, and then it's completely different. But
I don't understand how trying your best can be frowned upon in any scenario.
it's because it's just a way for the people that lose. It makes them feel better. That's essentially it. That's really the only reason why it's frowned upon. Like, oh, I lost because somebody bought BKB. What fucking tryhards? Or, oh, I lost because they have a Visage Drow combo. What tryhards? It makes you feel better about yourself. I mean, it might be true, but that's not really the important thing. And I'm sorry if I'm triggering some people with this statement, but I don't, I really don't give a shit actually. So.
Well, it's something that everyone can relate to, right? In your games, there's always that one, the one salty lad out there. Don't rip on a mid lane razor. That was a very long range grip.
That is a dead razor.
Be that long.
No, that's you need something else in order to survive against that. And I think it starts with an L.
Dire's bottom tower is
You know what
under
it is.
attack.
Well, we'll figure that out later.
No idea.
Winked Sphere. I'm sure you knew. I know you're just trolling me. Kel'Thuzar's getting dove into the tier 2 tower. The Impale comes out. Godlike Raven, if they can find this kill, it would be huge, but he got stunned forever. A good hook shot to burrow onto 2. They need the vision. Raven gets out of the cogs. Oh, no, and they might not be able to find him. The Spirit Vessel. They actually get the Warrior's Punch. Raven's going to survive. Are you kidding me? All they needed was that kill, and they still cannot find it. And they keep getting same H, but it doesn't matter. It's not that much. Angel Dream is forced to buy back for that fight. If they kill the Tiny, that's a million times better, and the buyback might be worth it. This is not a Nightmare Deny. It doesn't really exist anymore. But he got a triple kill, which I guess is fine. I think the buyback actually, he didn't lose that much gold, I don't think.
I mean, the thing is, they've killed 3 support heroes. It seems like every time Raven has 0 deaths, Armel has 1 death, so clearly they're not killing any of these important farming core heroes, but you're right, if they kill the Tiny there, look at his network, wow, that's quite the pinata.
I mean, the Sand King has been doing his best to trying to find these setups, trying to find the burrow strikes. He's actually been getting stunned by the Nyx Assassin just as much as maybe the Razor has been. So it's almost like you don't really think of BKB on the Sand King to be a useful item, but it's almost like he needs something in order to get these stuns off a bit more, I shouldn't say consistently, but like, I don't even know how they didn't get that kill. I guess the cogs kind of screwed it. But...
Well, man, it's that gosh golly darn status resistance.
Oh, right. Duh. What an ability Grow is.
Yep.
40% status resistance. The only hero to have the status resistance. Aeondis does not provide nearly that much. The Grow also giving you the extra 15 armor and damage. Tiny has 25 armor currently. He has 1,000,000 damage. And he has 10% magic resistance because he's a strength hero. Yeah, he's doing pretty... Actually, he should have more because that's just what he gets from strength. Yeah, he's 32% magic resistance. So, Tiny, if they could kill him and the Gyrocopter now, it is a pinata. But I think that they might just lose this next fight here for the Prime because they're in a really bad situation. They're on the low ground. And I think they're dead here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, they don't see him. Do they have a gem? They should. Hookshot coming in. They've got the Burrow Strike onto 3. The Plasma Field. The BKB comes out. They need to get these kills. Raven is being static linked right now. They're chewing him down. The double force. Can he get to safety? He's going to try to blink the Ice Shards. They need to kill him, but they've got the snowball. Raven's going to survive again. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. He can't keep getting away with it.
How did he live?
I don't know. He's a Tiny. That's how he lived, Brax.
Oh, goodness. A Tiny or a teeny.
Yes. Exactly. Oh, God. He can't keep getting away with it. He should have been dead 3 times over, but he has 1,000,000 HP. He is got so much armor, and they just could not do anything.
It was a double force stack from the support cast right there.
Yeah, that was really well played, too. The double force was huge. He doesn't get out without that. And the snowball save, too. They needed to kill this Tusk, but he was able to survive somehow as well. Gyrocopter is bottom. He does have BKB TP. He's going to have to use it. They have Hook. Where's the... Oh, he just... Nope. I think he just respawned. There's a Vanguard for Varese. He's trying to get Crimson Guard, which will help against the Gyrocopter. It feels like the Prime are missing all these opportunities. They've had so many chances to win these fights, and every fight has been close, and they just cannot get the right engagement for them. That was the perfect fight. They had a gem on Nefari. They had the hookshot initiation. They had a 3-man burrow strike, and they still lost 2 heroes, and they couldn't quite get the tiny kill. And I know that's pretty unbelievable.
3-man burrow strike as well.
Yes.
Instead of that team fight.
Exactly.
They still can't get the kill.
They need this Desolator on Kel'Thuzad. He might die here, though, if he's not careful. Nefari needs to get forced down, and he does. The Blink is on cooldown. Now that's another gank not being utilized there for TnC, but they will pick up the Gyrocopter Butterfly, who also has a double damage rune. And this is the perfect time to smoke. Roche is dying extraordinarily fast, though. They have hookshot.
Playing a favorite spot, double damage for Gyro, but in your this team, they're coming in.
They dusted Sam H. Burrow strike onto 2, the Infest out. They need to bring down Armel, but he gets the BKB off in time. Raven's going to get forced again, I have a feeling. They've got the grip onto the Lifestealer, but he's fine. They're going to turn it around. Tim's is getting run at. They've lost the Witch Doctor. Somehow they keep losing the first hero in these fights. Raven, no. There's no way. They finally get the kill. He's dead for 80 seconds. Sam H is about to fall as well. The Eye of the Storm. They've got the hook onto Cuckoo. They're going to get 3. They're turning around for the Prime.NND. They've got the triple kill for Kel'Thuzad, and they're going to find maybe more. The Epicenter onto Tim's, but he gets the force onto the high ground. They need a Burrow Strike. They don't have it. Nothing Nefari can do. He needs like a Eul Scepter or something, but they're going to find Roche Brax. The dream has finally been realized for the Prime.NND. They will take the fight. They will take the Aegis, and they will get the lead back down to somewhere that's manageable for them.
Oh my god. Their scale and Lifestealer against these heroes is just so good. And that's why during the draft phase I was like, well, that's pretty peculiar. The Gyrocopter into the Lifestealer. He only dodges out on all the magic damage that Gyro provides. And, well, Tiny, this guy's got a lot of health for, you know, the Feast to heal him with.
I mean, they're not doing enough damage for TnC, I think, at these engagements anymore. Aeon Disc Razor was the perfect pickup. I know you're not getting the damage when it does get procced, but, like, it's still fine, I think.
It makes a lot of sense on Razor as a core, actually, right? Because it guarantees that you're going to get your BKB off. You're not going to get chain stunned. You're going to be able to get your Link and your Eye of the Storm off, too. I think it makes a lot of sense.
I almost think he could use a Hurricane Pike, too. You know, just so that he can get, like, he could still get kited. You know, even though he has BKB and Aeon, he could still easily get kited by some of these heroes. So he will build Shivas, which will help in that regard. And I do like the Axe pickup if he does go that road. But he didn't go for the Eye of the Storm strike interval. The armor is so hard to pass up against the Gyrocopter, which I think is fine.
Yep, that 10 armor is going to help him, you know, just tank up, not get bursted. That's all he needs to do. They just need to outlast TnC's lineup, and they're going to win every time.
Yeah, this is...
Like, what can Tiny build against Lifestealer that makes him actually destroy him? It's like nothing.
The Heart of Trask, apparently, is what he's trying to build.
Well, you stack more health up against the Lifestealer. That's
the Feast.
Never great.
Yeah, I mean... The what ends up happening is the same, you know. The Feast just owns. Armel needs to be careful. Oh, wow, that hook shot. If that catches, maybe they get that kill, but they can't find it. And the Clockwork, of course, he is a support clock. And he's not going to have Ags anytime soon, nor will he go for it. Well, that's a pause.
Uh-oh, they're hanging.
By the way, if the pause goes longer... Never mind, I don't want to bring that up. I guess it's not important. I think you probably know what I was going to say anyway. Nikki posted it. Okay, so you do know. Okay, cool.
Got it.
I've just confused however many viewers we have. So sorry about that, everybody. Sorry, not sorry. Great.
Yes.
Great.
Of course.
Well said, Brax.
Don't worry, Mott.
Did you know? Did you know? And then you didn't know, and then you just looked it up, didn't you?
No, I saw it earlier this morning.
Okay, good. Good. So
I guess, well, morning is afternoon for me.
Yeah, same. God, I woke up at 6 p.m. today.
That's really impressive.
Well, I did go to bed at like 8 a.m., so
Okay.
I stayed up
Oh,
longer
boy.
for some reason.
Panda Umani's looking mighty dead.
Can they turn this? He got off the cask, actually. They need the razor. They have the clockwork coming in. Oh, my God. They need the hook. They need the hook. Oh, they didn't get out of the way. That's a ping on In Your Dream right there. He didn't get out of the way in time. I think he probably wouldn't have hit it anyways. I don't think it's In Your Dream's fault.
Yeah, the creeps are just in the way.
Yeah.
If, you know, the cast actually bounced back, and that stopped him from blinking out right away, and then if Razor was actually able to hit him with the plasma field, then they could have canceled his blink long enough for the hook shot to come through. But yeah, it didn't happen. They're so close to being able to take down Tiny again.
Yeah. Killing him twice in a row like that would have been critical. Stopping him from getting the heart.
It's one of these plays where if Raven gets that pick off, it's nice. You know, he farms a bit more Witch Doctors off the map for a good 20 seconds because he's low level, but it's not a very high reward play.
No.
Right? But on the other hand, if the Prime managed to get that return kill, then it's gigantic.
Yeah, exactly. The risk is it really outweighs the reward that you're getting. You're getting 200 gold essentially for that Witch Doctor kill. 300 at max essentially. Or not even that much actually. Probably less than that. How much did he get for it? 314? Okay,
high.
I was kind of right about that, but
Yeah, you know what I mean, right? It's like it's very high risk, low reward play.
yes, absolutely. I think making those plays is good in the early game when you're trying to get an advantage. Now that you have one, you need to be very careful with how you approach it. Not to say I want you to be defensive if you're TnC. I definitely don't think that's the case. But I do think you need to be careful with how you approach these next few minutes, especially because there is an Aegis up on this Lifestealer. But I don't know if the Prime are going to be able to find anything with it. It's actually down in 30 seconds. So this Aegis hasn't really been utilized the best. I know it's keeping them farmed and in the game, but they didn't get a single kill within that span of time after they took that one big fight. Burrow Strike. Tiny's been spotted. Nefari getting run down. Nefari, I thought, had the gem. Did they lose it? They have it on Clockwork.
Gave it to someone else. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure. I would think I would prefer to have it on the Sand King, to be honest.
You know, he hasn't died once this game on the Sand King, and Clockwork definitely is a bit more suicidal than the Sand King, but, you know, I don't know. Sand King is super tanky, actually.
Maybe there's some reasoning for it, I'm sure. I just can't think of it.
Well, Sand King's busy pushing out the lanes, right?
Right.
Clockwork is moving in with the team, so.
And it's a good thing he didn't have because he would have lost it here. Wow, he has no buyback. And that's pretty big, actually. And the wave is pushed in pretty far bottom. They're going to have to... There's no glyph either front of the minute. This is a critical juncture for TnC. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to do anything with it. I think they want to go high ground, but it's tricky.
Not the easiest high ground. You know, Tiny is pretty good. He can just hit the tier 3, but with Lifestealer standing in the front lines and the Observer Ward, they can't really approach this safely.
They need a good grip, and they need to follow it up with something. Like, they need a good impale into a good grip. Wow, good rage. Raven might just be dead if he doesn't get forced. They double forced him already. They forced him at the same time, I think. Where's the tusk? Nope, no, they didn't. I thought they did, but they didn't. Unless the Tiny's a force death. No, he doesn't. Oh, no, it was Sam H and the Bane. Yeah, I was right. Whew. So that's a good job. They've got the hook shot. Cuckoo, the pushback comes in. He's going to have to run the other direction. Shiva's guard. Oh, the battery assault. Good effort, Cuckoo. That was pretty much the only way out of that tricky situation. I like where your head's at, buddy. Razor is just... He's very sassy today with his voice lines.
He is. What happened to him today?
He's a little upset.
What's wrong with him?
Did you see the early game the Prime had? I don't blame him.
That's true. Now it's his moment to shine, right? He's on the comeback. He's whipping people into shape, as he says. He's giving it to him. But you know who they need to give it to is Raven. They now have a 6K lead. It was once 4K here in the last few minutes. Raven is working on his heart. And I actually do think that if he gets it, like the Lifestealer will still own him, but I still think it keeps him pretty unkillable otherwise. You know, if the Lifestealer's not there or whatever. Yeah, super tanky, 30 armor with the...
They know. They know Raven's over here. They need the flare right now. They need the flare. They found him.
Got the gem on him, too.
Yeah, they need to find... Oh, I can't believe they actually missed this. Are you kidding?
Oh, no.
How did they miss that? They thought they blinked up to the north or something over here.
Yep. You know, they also didn't want to be the ones to check into the angry Tiny, right? Clockwork, he has 3,000 health, but not the Witch Doctor.
He's building the Lotus Orb on the Clockwork, which makes a lot of sense. What's the Gyrocopter build? We haven't checked on him. He's working on the Satanic. So both of these heroes working on the survivability. Good rage from Kel'Thuzad. Sam H is going to get forced probably twice as well. They're going to maybe try to find a counter initiation for the Tiny. I don't know
Rage
if you
is
want to
down.
fight into this. I know that rage is down, but I don't think you're kind of fighting into high ground here. This is a little tricky. Not like actual high ground, but a higher ground.
Dire's bottom
That's
tower
the
Well, that's
advantage.
technically the definition of high ground, right?
Right, true.
Yeah,
Okay.
higher ground. You're not wrong, Mont.
Anyway, they will survive. Tiny is level 24. We'll see if he gets the 3 toss charges at the level 25. I suppose that's the good news, is that his level 25 talent isn't broken. You know? It's still
Yeah.
pretty good, though.
It still is quite good. I'm actually a big fan of the Avalanche cooldown.
What's the cooldown then once... It's like... Wow, that's actually ridiculous. It's like 5 seconds. Yeah.
Yep. On an AoE stun, pretty darn strong. I really don't know if Raven's going to go for this hard. He might decide against it and pick up something else like the Black King bar.
Do you really, like... It seems like you're not on board with it.
I'm not, just because I don't think it's going to help him play the fights much better. I know that they have like the double 4 staff, and that's why he's not going for the BKB, but engagement here.
Really not. That they walked up with no smoke. Although somehow it's kind of working out. The Death Ward's coming in. Raven's going to get forced. Good hook, though. They're going to get the Shrine off now, and now Varese has to get back. They have the Epicenter coming in. They need a Blink Dagger. There it is. It's going to come out, and now Armel, he has to pop the BKB, and he will, but he's getting static linked. They've lost the Tiny. They've lost another hero. It's going to be Cuckoo drop down. Can they find anybody else? Tim's as well as Sam H are on the run. I think the damage has already been done, though. Getting that Tiny kill is about as big as anything they could have gotten other than the kill on the Gyrocopter. And now they'll be able to finally get a Tier 2 tower. The first one in the game for TnC to be lost.
Wowzers. Kel'Thuzad and his lifestealer, this guy, he's a madman. He's insane. He's crazy.
Oh, this is the item. BKB. That's the item. You were right about that. He's going to go for it next. You knew, buddy.
I feel like BKB is not even the right one. I think I want him to go for a Bloodthorn into a Nullifier combo against a Lifestealer so they can actually kill him before Rage comes out.
Yeah, I agree with you. They might be able to kill him here if they're not careful. They have no Rage in Kel'Thuzad. Oh, great cogs, though, from Breeze. If he dies here, not that big of a deal. He doesn't even have the gem anymore. They gave it back. They don't get the Tier 3. They did get the Tiny buyback. And that's pretty big. Although Nefari might be dead. Good Sandstorm. Oh, the Sentry. That's a gem gone. They have no grip. Maybe. He has Force in 1. It's going to be close. And then he has Axe Burrow Strike too, which makes it really hard to kill this guy. Blink away. Maybe he's going to wait. There it is.
Chase him to the end.
They are going to chase him. Kel'Thuzad's still here. The homing missile, he needs to maybe Sandstorm it. Doesn't really matter, it looks like. Sam H is here. Open Wounds, Rage. Sam H might be dead. He has to force himself. They really want Nefari, and I do not blame them. That's gem. Walrus Punch, they're going to find actually so much out of this. And that is no buyback on Kel'Thuzad. You've got to be kidding me. TnC just walk in. They make a play that in any other game might not have been the smartest, but it gets them the gem, and it gets them a free Lifestealer kill instead of just letting the Sand King die. So that's pretty huge. And Roche with Aegis and Cheese. That is maybe the worst possible thing that could have happened to Prime in that situation.
Yep, and Cuckoo's going... Well, I thought he was going to go mid to push the wave up, but he's actually checking the rune. They still have time, right? Lifestealer, no buyback.
Like, even though Roche isn't falling that quickly, there's no way they can contest this without the Lifestealer. And yeah, you're right. They're going to get this Roche, and then they're going to try to push a wave with it. And if the Lifestealer's dead, that's the hero that, you know, they can't really fight into.
Yep, and Raven has the Aegis and BKB now, so I swap that in after the Aegis is used.
I still think they need more damage for TnC, though, you know?
Yeah, I agree. That was like a gank, right? They happened to catch out the Prime in an awkward position, but in a real team fight where Lifestealer's infested in like the Sand King, and they get the jump first, it's pretty difficult to deal with, especially when Kel'Thuzad gets to his Nullifier. That's going to be quite troublesome.
It's going to be ways away, though, and especially with him dying there. He's down for another 12. Glyph is available. I think they want to force it more than anything else. Maldic coming in, Shiva's Guard, just pulling the wave back. The Glyph does finally come out. And that'll be it for the push.
Time to back it on up.
Yeah, you could just now take control of the map. That was a huge fight for TnC. The buyback on Raven is not going to be, you know, that buyback is now, it doesn't really matter that much.
If the late game is always so interesting. Buybacks, giving gold. You know, the game's just not over if you happen to lose a Rax buyback and take a team fight. Rax also giving less gold along with other towers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you have to be super careful not to die, even after taking buildings.
Yes, like, especially against the Tiny, you die, like, if they were to lose their heroes, you know, he could just, he's so fast at taking buildings. Assault Kuros Tiny with a tree is insane how much damage he can do. And it might come into play.
Do you think that's a lame name for a skill? Tree grab?
Tree grab? Yeah, I think it's pretty dumb. Not only is it dumb, it's tree grab and tree throw depending on when he has the tree. Obviously, but
Not too creative there.
I don't know what else they would change it to be fair. Maybe some adjective to describe the tree, like Whomping Tree or something. I don't know. Big tree. How's that
Big
sound?
tree.
Burrow Strike, Tiny, Raven, gotta get caught. Kel'Thuzad, though, that's the rage down. And that 25 talent is looking pretty good for the Lifestealer, but it's going to take him a year and a half to get there if they keep pushing and they keep them hemmed in the space.
You know, I've never seen Lifestealer take the other talent before.
The feast damage for Lifesteal?
Yeah, like when you look at his 10 and 15, you know, you can make cases for both of them. 20 evasion is just far superior.
Way better, yeah.
Most Lifesteal, but I always think it's nice. That's how you know you have a good design. You know, you've got some good talents with both of them have their uses, right?
Yeah, I agree. I do think 9.5% feast damage is actually more than people give it credit for, but it's so hard to not go for the rage duration. It's just essentially having a longer BKB. I mean, the BKB, it's 8 seconds, so it's not quite as much as a 10-second, but...
It's still great. TnC smoke.
Oh, Panda, you saw it. That's a great ward. Can they fight, though? They need the clockwork out in front. Oh, I cannot believe they got baited by that. They thought it was just one hero. They thought it was just Cuckoo, and they're going to lose Nefari. He does have buyback. The Tiny's somehow alive still. The Snowball was saving his life, but he's going to lose the Aegis. The grip is done. Tim's is getting run down. In Your Dream has stolen a ton of damage. He's up to 224. Cuckoo, I can't believe he survived. These 4 stabs are making life miserable. They have to buy back on 2 heroes. Walrus Punch coming in. Sam H gets off a nice impale. Tim's is going to get chased down. Sam H, if he's the only one that dies and Tim's going down, it's not that big of a deal. They did get the Aegis. Did they use the cheese? They did not.
Nope.
But that's pretty good for TnC. Forcing out those buybacks is pretty critical. They almost found the Cuckoo Bane, but he was able to get out to safety.
Yeah, managing to make it out with the lives of my core heroes for TnC. If Raven died there, that would have been a dieback and the game might have just ended. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. When you take a fight like that, buybacks come out. Everyone is so quick on the buyback because you cash out. You win that one fight and the game's over.
I thought Nefari was going to use it quicker. He died instantly, and it took him a second or two to actually use the buyback. I thought it was going to be way quicker than that. And, you know, that's just... I thought Panda U made the greatest play. He had this war. He saw Cuckoo running up, and I guess the thought process is this is just Cuckoo coming over to ward, you know, and they position themselves around the shrine, but then they get jumped on completely because there's another ward here that was placed in the previous engagement or the previous time where they were pushing the jungle. And, If TP are the ones that find that fight, I think that goes way differently.
Yeah, I think they thought they could still win it. I'm pretty sure he knew they were all there just because of how strong the Razors and everything. But yeah, you're right. That was a fight into the Aegis and cheese. But honestly, as long as the Lifestealer gets his rage off, he's totally fine, which he did in that fight. So nice fast reactions from Kel'Thuzad.
Kel'Thuzad. He is up to 4,000 gold. He is working on that relic into the... I almost forgot what it was called. The Nullifier. It took me a second.
The Terrorblade weapon.
Yeah. That's what it is. That's very true. And then, of course, he wants to get buyback, so it's going to be a while before he can have both Nullifier and buyback. And I think it's not worth just buying out for. I'm not sure if you agree, though. Do you think he should buy out for it, or do you think he should...
I think it depends on the state of the game. If they're getting pushed, you know, when the buyback's not going to be that impactful and the enemy team has no buybacks, you just go for that one single team fight, you know? If you win the team fight, you win the game. If you lose, then you lose the game. But for now, probably buybacks is the better to save for, just because if they do run into a situation where they get picked off, it's going to need it.
Are they going to smoke? Yep.
Yes.
No vision over for TnC. This feels like the first time where somebody has not smoked on a ward in this game. I'm sure that's hyperbole, but still. Scotty's done for the Gyrocopter. He has 3,000 HP with a Satanic and a Scotty and a BKB. The get off the Infest, the jump onto Raven, there's a good force. He has BKB and cheese. And they have to back. Grip, full grip onto... Wait, why is there a grip sound?
It just won't stop.
Okay, that was awkward. I was looking for it so frantically, and I couldn't find it.
He used it and it got canceled right away, and it just kept going.
He really just wanted to keep making that noise somehow. Oh, he's buying out for it. He bought the full nullifier.
Okay, so they want to just to make sure they win this next team fight. But it could be really dangerous, right? When you're dealing with buybacks, I mean, if you commit super hard for that, and then buybacks come out, TPs come in, and then Lifestealer happens to die with no buyback, that could be game.
And Tiny has buyback already. So that timing window where if they killed Raven twice in a row, the game might just go their way, it's gone now. And also Armel has a buyback. Of course, the supports don't, except for the Tim's Tusk. I'll hold that thought. Thought they were going to take a fight here. Rax, or Tier 2 is going to die to the siege creep.
Dire's bottom tower has
Lotus Silver on the Kel'Thuzar. They're going to keep spamming that on him. They don't want him to get ripped. PandaU's going to walk up into Sam H. Sam H was not spotted. They do have the gem on PandaU, so actually he might have been.
Yep, I think they saw him, or they have a good idea. They're just camping the sport.
They
wanna
see
pick a team
Armel.
fight around it.
Armel is going to de-ward it. And I think they just back. I mean, you bought the nullifier. I think you should maybe think about just getting buyback for Kel'Thuzar. It's not going to take that long.
Razor's top mod.
This is really bad. They need to run. They need to run immediately. They're going to lose a lot of heroes here unless they're careful about this. They might just lose the clockwork. Does he have buyback? He does, but he does. That's the gem. That's a costly mistake for the Prime.NND. You know, it's not the worst death, but losing the gem is critical at that juncture.
Yep, especially against the Nyx Assassin, right? You lose out on a whole bunch of map control once you lose the gem, so yeah. Not good, not good.
All right. The good news for the Prime is that Roche is not going to be up for another 2 minutes and 38 seconds. And I think they could have still fought without the clockwork anyway. I hope this Gyrocopter's thinking about getting a rapier, because he probably needs that amount of damage. Or maybe just like something like an MKB or something that gives you more damage.
Yeah, they're definitely hitting a bit of a damage wall, right? The heroes on the Prime.NND are super, super tanky. Razor has 50 armor, Lifestealer with the Rage. He's got 40 armor as well.
I'm not sure if I
Lord
feel
into
good about
base.
this Heart of Trask. You already have BKBA on disc on the Razor. I don't know if he's been dying in these fights, to be honest.
Yep, he's actually got the Bloodthorn in his quick fire.
Okay,
now,
yeah,
so
he just took
changing
it out.
up.
That makes a lot more sense. Here comes the Rage. Raven cast. They have plenty of force stabs. This is the issue when you're fighting into TnC. You need to have a Blink Burrow initiation on the back lines. And they do have an Ags, which makes it a lot easier. I don't know how much they keep going. Clockwork's back up in 10. They want to get the Tier 3 tower, and there is no glyph. They might actually get it. Cast comes out, Static Link, and that's going to be broken. And that's maybe go time for TnC. I don't know. The Clockwork is now back up. Static Link will be back up in about 20 seconds. I think they just get this tower with toss and the auto attacks on the next go-round. Nullifier comes out way too late, and not that it matters. He was forced away anyways. The Tier 3, one way or the other, is going to go down. They could deny it. Going back to Roche is TnC, but it is not up for another minute and 19 seconds. So, again, a very good timing for the Prime. They might smoke out, depending. I don't know if they have one. I don't think they do,
You know what?
actually.
That's a situation where the Heart on Tiny would have been good, right? Where he can just sit there, siege the tower, force out, and then force the Prime to engage super hard. So, I mean, that's probably the idea of it, you know, to help end the game.
Yeah.
Chip away at those Tier 3 towers, but he definitely needs BKB.
And that is
He's
a
got
dead
9 seconds.
Sam H, unless he can get the 4 stuff off. He does have an A on disc. There it goes. Raven's in, trying to find PandaU. Sam H does fall. The Nullifier came out. Raven now BKB'd, but he's kind of on his own. The grip coming into Kel'Thuzar. Epicenter getting channeled, and here we go. Raven's BKB is going to be down in a moment. There's the Burrow Strike. They will find Armel. Another good force. And again, if they get out of this, it would be a miracle, and they might actually. They've got the force up onto Kel'Thuzar, but he doesn't have enough mana. They need vision. They can't find it. They need another hook shot. They desperately need an Aghanim Scepter on this Clockwork. I am surprised he's not getting it. Like, they need it 100% this game.
Oh, man. I can't believe TnC make it out with 4 heroes there. That's pretty ridiculous.
Like, do you know how much work this Clockwork Ags would do if he had it?
Yeah, he'd be able to hook again.
I don't know. Maybe I'm overstating it.
Well, the thing is, his current items are really good, right? You have the Crimson Guard, so you can use that on your towers whenever TnC come to siege. It also is great against the Flag Cannon. And then the Lotus helps too. But, no, you're definitely right. Like, if he had an Aghanims, then they'd be able to keep catching and just chase these heroes. But he's prioritizing the survivability, going for the Eon Disc next.
Is Tim's
Just
dead?
doesn't want to die.
Tim's is dead. He should
Oh,
be
yeah.
dead. He should be very dead. Does he have buyback? He does. Okay, Roche contention still available for TnC. In Your Dream is in.
He's up super far.
Yeah, and he's going to get enfeebled because of it. And he is like 5 HP now. The hook shot will miss. And now that's down for another 40 seconds. But maybe they can take Roche. I think you need a buyback for TnC. I can't... I wouldn't... Yeah, there's no way they can give this away. It's Aegis Cheese Refresher Shard. It's too good.
Yep, agreed. Definitely need to fight this, but there's a lot of late game items coming out from the Prime mod. They've got 2 nullifiers.
Oh,
on
yeah.
the team.
They really
One
do.
on Razor, one on Lifestealer.
What does he put away when he gets the Ags? The S and Y, probably?
Yeah, I would assume so. Or he can keep the Aeon Disc in the quick buy.
He could also
swap his items out.
He can also keep the BKB and then use it and then put it in his backpack. It's kind of tricky, but should be fine.
You could just siege and you'll get a boost as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of late game items. This is now only a 3k lead. That kill actually got them so much map control. Like, I'm not sure how they got so much out of that. They should see... No, there's no... I thought there was going to be more vision in the jungle, but it's been deordered, I think, by TnC. They have a gem on Sam H. There's like 5 gems in this game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know where they all are. I thought there were a lot of... are they going to find this kill? Okay, that's a dieback in the Tusk. That's go time. You're now fighting 4 versus 5 at the Roche Pit, but I like the TnC play. They're going to be aggressive. They know that the Tusk is dead, but they're going to try to find Varese here, and that's going to be another gem if they can. Grip comes out. Varese is still alive for now. He's going to get dropped down and pretty low. He's got Lotus Orb available. He can't get it off in time, but Raven, man fighting against this static link in your dream. He actually didn't even use it. All of his mana is gone somehow. This mana burn from the Nyx must have actually just owned them. And this Razor might just die if he's not careful. And, yep, he's dead.
He's dead.
And now he needs to buy back. And they cannot get any of these cores. The cask will bounce through, but the Butterfly keeping him up and alive. There's the hookshot from Varese, and he's in a little deep now. His team is coming in. They've got the Satanic. I don't know if they can take this fight. They've got the Epicenter, the Burrow Strike, Armel. They need to get these kills, but they can't. They somehow cannot find it. The Lotus Orb, it might bring him down. The Glimmer Cape is there. The Plasma Field. They need this kill, and they're going to find it. The last auto attack. They're going to find the Tiny as well. The Nullifier. It comes down. He gets forced away, but he will crumble. They're both dead for 90 seconds. 100 seconds on the Tiny. They do have buyback. That was a very dangerous fight from both teams, and it looks so good for TnC. But they just, again, they don't have the damage.
Wow, look at this Mango delivery in the mid lane. They all got mana burned, and one of these heroes that died with buybacks just brought Mangoes in. So they've got mana to fight.
Kel'Thuzar doesn't. Oh, there. No, now he does. They just... Okay, wow. I did not see it was that many Mangoes. I thought it was like 2. They gave him like 3. Yeah, this mana burn has been wrecking them in these fights, I've noticed.
Yep, there's, like, you can't burst any of these heroes, right? They all either have Aeon Discs or they're super, super tanky, but the mana burn, you mana burn one of these heroes 2 or 3 times and they have no mana to fight. That's how they can actually win the fight.
Yeah. The Razor couldn't get off his static link because of that. And that's 90% of, well, not 90, but it's a lot of your damage gone. Nefari came in with an amazing Epicenter. If that doesn't happen, that fight goes way worse. And now he has the level 3 Epicenter. He has the Refresher Shard to work with. Of course, he has the extra range from the Burrow Strike. He's building into a Radiance, which I think is actually a really good idea, even though late game Radiance is kind of iffy.
I mean, he just doesn't die in these fights, right? 73 health regen. Got an Aeon Disc as well.
Remember, this is a critical game right now for the Prime. Even if they get this game win, they need TnC to lose one more time. No, because they... Actually, no, yeah, they will, because the Prime are down like 2 different games. I think they need a lot of help still, even if they win this game.
It's a crucial game. It's an epic 60-minute battle back and forth the entire time. The Prime, of course they want to win. It means everything to them.
Yeah, this would be a huge win. To take down maybe the second best team in the region behind Mineski, especially considering they beat Fnatic earlier this week. TnC, they have been playing amazing Dota up until this point in these qualifiers. Losing 2 straight games is going to put them in a pretty rough situation. But again, a lot at stake here for the Prime.NND. A 1K lead for TnC now. 33K net worth on this gyrocopter. BKB, Satanic, S&Y, Butterfly. He has everything, and now he's finally going to be getting the Rapier, which is really a good choice. He needs the damage, for sure.
Yep, he does, for sure. You know, it's funny to think that, you know, Rapier used to be the end-all be-all, right? You know, this is what you get in the ultra late game to end the game, but I feel like that's been replaced by Bloodthorn and Nullifier, that combo. It just adds so much damage not being able to purge off the, whatever it's called, the soul burn from the Bloodthorn.
Yeah.
I guess they do have ways, right, with the Lotus Orb, but they only have one Lotus Orb on the Tusk. They probably would like another one on one of these other heroes.
Oh, did you know that Bloodthorn, the active Soul Rend instead of Soul Burn?
Oh, I didn't know that.
You learn something new every day, folks.
That's right. That's why they're here, to learn.
Learn about Dota. And there's a lot to be gained from this game. Some really good play around vision. The crucial gem pickups. I think if you've never been a believer in Force Staff and you're watching this Dota game, you need to rethink your life because this item is clearly very good.
This game should definitely convince the Force Staff haters out there. The Force Staffs have been making all the plays this game for both sides.
Now I'm trying to think if there's anybody out there that plays Dota actively that actually doesn't like Force Staff because I can't imagine.
I think everyone does.
Really?
Everyone loves Force Staff, right?
Yeah.
It looks cool too. Pretty stylish.
It's got a nice look for sure. Well, it kind of looks just like a stick, to be honest, with the little stuff at the top of it.
Yeah, but a Force stick, not just a regular stick.
Right. Oh, I didn't notice the lore, the flavor text. Allows you to manipulate others for good or evil. That's a pretty good definition of what Force Staff does. It's pretty general.
Big fan of the flavor text.
You know, I'm really starting to appreciate it more. It's something I haven't really watched enough Dota and looked at enough of the lore to really be impressed by it up until recently. There's some really good stuff. I think Bane had a pretty funny one. I can't remember which one it was though.
Nah, so what's the win condition here for TnC? Is it going to be Bane's level 25 talent, or it's a plus 7 second duration Fiend Scroll?
Well, they have Lotus Orb.
Close it out?
The grips haven't done as much in these last few fights. Maybe it helps. They have the level 25 in the Tusk, minus 6 second ice shards, so now it's down to 12 seconds. Or is that including? That's not including the talent, right? So maybe it's 6 seconds.
Yeah, it's 6 seconds. I don't know why it didn't update. Usually it updates, but yeah, that's the cooldown before the talent.
And what else is there? Homing missile charges for the gyrocopter, which who cares? It's not a great level 25 talent.
Oh, I know what it is, Mott.
What is it?
Plus 100 agility on Nyx Assassin.
Now he just needs an ethereal blade.
The Vendetta unobstructed pathing is pretty darn nice at this stage of the game, if he can ever get there.
So that means he's essentially like Centaur with Ags, or Broodmother for that matter, pretty much.
Yep.
Which is, he's survived a lot, actually, and that Vendetta will help him survive even more when he gets to the level 25. Razor picked up 100 attack speed, and he's had that for a while, actually. Is there any other level 25 I'm missing? Clockwork's getting close to...
Yeah, Rocket Flare True Sight. That's the game winner.
Well, they have Gem. They've had Gem means he went for the Battery Soldier Bowl, which I suppose makes sense. They're getting, by the way, important to note, everybody has like 5-second BKBs now, except for the Lifestealer, who of course has a 8-second Rage, because he didn't go for the Feast damage Lifesteal, which is not shocking to anybody.
Yes. Mott, we forgot about poor Witch Doctor. This man's level 25 talent. Whew. Doesn't mess around.
I mean, Death Ward damage is pretty good.
75 Death Ward damage.
1.5% max health Voodoo Restoration. That number doesn't seem very big. I don't know if it's actually good or not.
Well, Mom, let's do some math. I think it's fantastic.
Okay. I mean, I actually don't know. I'm not like trying to downplay it. I actually have no idea.
The Voodoo Restoration on Razor with that talent's going to heal for about 100 a second.
That's pretty good. If you keep that on in a fight, you know, they don't even... That's actually a really good point. They don't have enough damage as it is. Well, they do now with the Rapier, but... They know that the Rapier is up. I think Armel has been spotted.
That's what we think, right? There's a good chance that the Gyrocopter presses his flat cannon button and still can't kill heroes.
I mean, they've itemized so well. They have plenty of armor. They have a couple of Aeon discs. Did they pick one up on the Clockwork? No. Oh, he did. Yes. Okay, so he's not going to lose this gem. He's going to be able to get off the Lotus Orb and Crimson Guard and all that good stuff. We might be waiting a while, Brax. Probably until everybody gets buyback. They don't have it on the Razor for another 12 seconds. Maybe when that happens, they can go for something. The Tiny won't have it for another 54. But if he dies now, he'll have it by the time they need it.
We're approaching double rapier territory, right? For Gyrocopter, he's gonna farm up another rapier, including buybacks, so even if he dies, he'll have another backup rapier. Or perhaps just, maybe he's a dual wielder, and he'll have two.
Yeah, there's a good chance that he just keeps the second one. And he maybe puts down the S&Y or something.
Yep, looks like the S&Y would be the first choice to ditch. But alright, TnC, they're smoked up, looking to make something happen. They have a rapier on Gyrocopter.
This Clockwork is going to run into the entire enemy team. Does he have vision? He does not. Now he does. He's dead. He's like, they're all here, guys. Good thing he's got Aeon Disc. They can maybe try to turn this fight. Cast coming in. Clockwork's somehow still alive. And everybody needs to run. Good thing they didn't commit too hard. Otherwise, that would have been kind of a disaster. They have another gem on Witch Doctor. And, by the way, everybody, we haven't taken... There's not been a single Rax taken, or, in fact, a single Tier 3 tower that's been taken this entire game.
Amon, press I.
Wow. Yep.
Nothing but green.
All right, hold on, everybody. It's been 66 minutes, so I'm sure somebody's going to have to, you know, use the restroom soon or fix their computer that might have some issues or something like that. But it's been a pretty great game, Brax. This game has been super jam-packed. It's been super fun. I loved it. I've loved every second of it.
Well, that's great to hear.
I'm sure people don't care, but I think it's been a really well-played game from the Prime and TnC as well. And they're really, I think the Prime are showing a lot of heart in this tournament so far. This is a team that's taken down. They've only lost a few games. I think they've gotten a win in every single series they've played so far. It's a team that I think a lot of people didn't have a lot of faith in coming into this game. But this is a really good team. Yeah. I mean, not many people knew about the Prime. Maybe In Your Dream, I think, is one of the few players on that team that's notable. I've seen Kel'Thuzad. I've seen this team before. It's been a long time since I have, you know, and they've been doing these, like, small qualifier runs with, like, Zotac Cup last year. But they've been pretty excellent so far in this particular tournament.
Yep, agreed. And the Prime.NND. God, TPNND.
Yep.
They've, you know, they've probably turned some heads this tournament a lot. Looking very strong.
Yeah, I think so too. And if they can keep playing like this, there's a good chance that they could either win this qualifier or the next set of qualifiers that they play, they could do really well in as well. Itemization's been good. Everything's been pretty strong. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, not good.
Yeah, TnC getting to that point where it's like, how long do we have to wait here in this game before he's back?
Nancy.
Well, Clockwork DC'd on his own. Like, so I imagine that he's just either restarting his router or his PC. We don't know what type of PC he has, so it might take a little bit.
Definitely depends on what kind of PC he has.
That's like... I always like playing pretty good PCs for Dota, so when I reconnect, I do it instantly. I take it for granted, and people are like, "Oh God." Envy was tweeting something about how like if you disconnect for 5 minutes at the beginning of the game, including pauses, you should be abandoned, is what he was tweeting about earlier. I think I saw a reply that was like from some guy pleading with him, just being like, "Man, think about the people that have awful computers, please." And I thought that was a good point because it takes forever to some of these PCs to boot up.
Yep, my whatchamacallit, one of my computer parts was fried and it functioned, but it functioned so slowly that I actually couldn't connect to Dota games. I would just crash in the very beginning and never be able to load into them before the game started.
That's pretty miserable.
Yeah.
Wait, what was fried that made that happen?
I needed to change the thermal paste on one of the things.
I was going to say, that sounds like a CPU issue.
It just couldn't load fast enough.
Yeah, that's rough. But you don't have that issue anymore, I'm assuming, considering you're
That's
in these
correct.
Dota games.
Yes.
Thank God we fixed it, or you fixed it. I don't know why I said we. I didn't do anything.
You're here in spirit.
I was literally just thinking that exact same thing. And
it was a long time ago.
How long ago? Did I even know you then?
I don't know. I can't. No,
We've known each other for a long time, though.
Yeah, that's true.
When did I first meet you? Were you at TI3? I think I met you there. I don't know if I talked to you that much. Of course you were at TI3. What am I talking about? God, I'm an idiot.
That's okay.
Anyway.
I sat down at a table with you, Greg, and Coddle Guy at the The welcome dinner.
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
said like
right.
3 things, and then I was like, "Wow, this is awkward," and I just got up. And
That was TI4.
Yep.
That one, yeah, that was, I first started meeting you guys. Like, I met you and Steven sat down with us. And then, yeah, I guess we just didn't know each other that well at that point.
I was like, man, these guys are weirder than me. I'm out.
Those welcome dinners are fantastic, by the way.
Yes.
I don't know if people know about that, like, if they actually know what they are. And I don't know if I want to say anything, but I guess it's fine. They have a welcome dinner for all the players and the talent at every TI at a specific restaurant in Seattle. And the food is fucking amazing. And it's just a really good time.
The food is indeed fantastic. It's so gosh darn good.
Man, you really held off on the swears there. I could hear it.
That was intentional.
I know.
I'm trying to keep this a nice wholesome stream mod, but...
Yeah, I should probably lay back too.
No, I think it was definitely warranted. We've 66-minute games pause. Not much else to talk about. How was your day?
It was pretty good. Like I said, I woke up at 6 p.m. I watched
Sounds
baseball and basketball with Carlo.
Oh.
And we had a pretty good time in doing it. I really started getting into baseball recently.
Nice, nice. Who's your team?
The Los Angeles Angels.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. They got this new Japanese pitcher who's a freak in terms of how good he can throw the ball.
Excellent.
Yeah, you know. God damn it. Anyway.
Sorry, we're American.
Yeah, we'll get back into it. We'll avoid baseball topics for now. And just say that the 66-minute game is finally back on track. If this game ended within your dream not being able to come back in because of his internet, I would have been very depressed. And I think the Prime would have been even more depressed than I am. I would have been, rather. Clockwork does not have buyback. He just bought out. Why did he buy out?
Oh, that's very interesting.
I'm not crazy, right? He shouldn't have done that.
No, he definitely should not have done that.
Oh, they didn't know. Oh, that's bad. Raven's going to get forced away. They do take the tier 3. I think you just back and take shrines if you're TnC. You don't know that he doesn't have buyback.
Exactly. But still, you never want to bank on that, right? Especially when you can just buy your blade mail when you respawn instead of buy it now.
I like the 4 rapiers and the gyrocopters quick buy. It's pretty great.
He knows what's good in life.
Yeah.
He knows what he wants.
So I think that tier 3 still dies anyway because I don't think he buys back for the tier 3. So maybe it's not that big of a deal, but I think you still need the buyback anyway for the next fight that you take.
Yep, it ended up not being a big deal, but you definitely don't want to do that, right? If you have the money for it, you save it, you're gonna find items, you wait till you respawn instead of buy it while you're dead. But yeah, the game goes on.
Yeah. Oh, that's a double damage rune for the gyrocopter or the tiny. And Roche is up in 55. They want to save it. That just spawned at the 68-minute mark. They have another minute and 50 seconds, but they're going to just pick it up now.
Well,
he's got a bottle.
Yeah,
that's Raven's bottle.
The secret shot.
Yeah. Oh, I love those types of plays. Good stuff from Raven and Armel. But he has to put away the Scotty. I don't think it's that big of a deal, though. And this is going to be critical. They're going to find out Roche is up in 30 seconds, and I don't know if there's a smoke available for T. They're going to buy one, and they need to smoke. This Roche will get melted. They do still have the refresher shard for the Sanka. They also have the cheese up on the lifestealer as well. But giving one away to the enemy team, getting double BKB on gyrocopter. Oh, Razor's out really far. He might be dead. Oh.
He's so
There's
fast.
the nightmare.
There's the nightmare.
The Nightmare might not have been the best idea. They're going to try to come and fight this. They need the Burrow Strike. They find it onto 2. The Infest out. They want the Bane. They find it. The Hookshot. It's onto 2. The Cog Pushback is there. The Bane has to buy back. They've got the Nullifier. They've got the Bloodthorn up. Raven has to BKB. He gets it off in time. Armel with a double damage. The Rapier. He's got the Lifesteal. He's turning it around. They have to buy back at the Lifestealer. And your Dream will fall. He's going to have to buy back as well. Veriz is in trouble. He doesn't have buyback. He's dropped down. Dead for 120 seconds. The damage problem has been dealt with by Armel. They're going to almost find the Sand King. He's able to get out. The Razor has to buy back. This will be a 4 versus 5 fight. I'm not sure if they can contest Roche. Did they use the refresher shard? They did. Did they use the cheese? They still have the cheese.
TnC's just camping.
Oh, this could be game winning. There's no vision on the Radiant team over in this area. But they're not chasing right after over to the Roche pit.
Well, there's no clockwork, right? They can't flare the Roshan pit. They don't know exactly what's going on at all. But
they're going to know that
can't,
it's not dead yet, so they're going to be like, okay, they're at our base probably. But it doesn't matter because now they're going to go Roshan will die just as quickly.
They also can't really contest it anyways, right? You can't just walk into the darkness like that. You're just going to end up feeding and lose the game. But yeah, that was the double damage Rapier Gyrocopter. He got static link, but it just didn't matter. Sat there and fought right through it.
And if they lose Raven and Armel and they have to buy back there, this is a lot. It's a lot less of a pill to swallow, a lot easier to swallow for TP, but it's Aegis Cheese plus buyback for TnC. And they have turned it around, and really all that it takes is a Gyrocopter with Rapier. And TnC have done it before. They've had it done to them by a couple of other teams, including VGJ Thunder, who did it at the Bucharest Major in one of the best games of that tournament. And they have the second Rapier if they want it. He's holding out right now. He has enough for it and buyback, I think, or at least he's close enough. I forget what the exact cost is. Yeah, he has enough. He just got it.
Isn't it crazy, Gyrocopter? This man's got no boots, but still 400 and something move speed, 460-ish.
Yeah, that's insane. And just good burrow strike. They need to counter-initiate. They might find Panda U, but that's the Aegis gone. All right, this is a bit of a tricky situation. If you lose this Rapier, I suppose it's not the end of the world because you have the second Rapier after you buy back. All right.
He's got no flak in. That's the big thing. 20 seconds, no flak. The Lotus Orb actually put Armel into a horrible position there. He ended up sanking, stunning into the enemy base, and he just got dumped on.
Yeah, tier 4 towers plus all the damage they have. That's probably not great. By the way, even this Witch Doctor is hard to kill now with Aeon Disc. Like, and that's Aegis too, you know. Cheese and Refresher Shard are one thing. Of course, they're all really good stuff, but Aegis, like, that free life is gone. Now you have to actually use the cheese, which he doesn't have currently. I think they still gave it to the Tiny. Oh, this is a big smoke. This could be a huge smoke. And Raven is kind of out on his own here. They're going to run into him. Oh, they break the smoke. They're on the run. Sam H is nearby. Do they have a gem? They did, but it was on the frickin' Witch Doctor. I think it was just on him. Yeah, they don't have another one.
Yep.
Armel's running. Ghost Scepter comes out. He's going to survive for now. But it's going to be the dead Witch Doctor. He has to buy back the grip onto In Your Dream. Can they bring him down? They've got the Walrus Punch. He's in trouble. The BKB, but he can't stay alive. The cheese, the tiny toss. Maybe he can. Raven looking for the kill, and he finds it. And that might be enough to win this game. Kel'Thuzad on the run. He will die maybe as well. He's going to try to man fight. They have another grip. That was the Refresher Shard coming out. Kel'Thuzad life-stealing, but he's kind of doing this on his own. The epicenter, it's going to have to be a big one. And it comes in, and it does a lot of work. Armel's dead. They need the Rapier. It's on the deck. They're going to have a snowball. He's going to buy back. Raven also getting a little bit low. The Spirit Vessel. Tim's man-fighting it up. A good burrow onto 2. They're going to try to get these kills. They will lose the Clockwork, and Raven getting shoot up. But again, remember, he does have buyback. Sam H is low. They all have buyback. Somehow Kel'Thuzad's doing it on his own, but I don't think it's going to be enough. All the buybacks coming out from TnC, and that should do it for this game. Oh, what a fight from TnC.
Yep, ridiculous. Gyrocopter looks like he's about to fall over and die at like 4 different parts of this team fight, but the buyback, you know, Clockwork was, he saw the creep Gyrocopter was TPing onto, and he desperately started pinging it out, ran over there, gave it the wrench, but he doesn't do any damage, Mont.
No.
If they had a real damage dealer, kill that creep Gyro was TPing onto, that could have been game-winning.
Yeah,
right?
4 versus 5 fight. And that's it, GG. They just go straight for the throne with no buyback. There is nothing Dafari can do. And it really comes down to the one fight with the double damage for Armel. That rune, the Rune of Runes, is able to get it done for the Gyrocopter. And TnC, what was a pretty close game for the most part, turns into a game that's been broken wide open by this Gyrocopter Rapier. And that's the thing, the damage, it was a huge issue earlier into the game, but really all you need is that one item and that one rune, and then you could just win the game for TnC.
Whew, what a game, Mont. Insane.
Yeah. And the good news for TnC, that they get that win. They have one series left to play, and if they 2-0, they are into the China Supermajor. And that's a very, very important time for them. I think they still have a series left, I'm pretty sure. Well, we'll check that out, and we'll give you the updated standings after this particular break that we have coming up. They will be playing Geek Fam next, and TnC are in prime position in order to get to the qualifiers or get to the China Supermajor, excuse me. So good stuff from them. Our next matchup of the day is going to be Clutch Gamers versus Execration. I believe both teams have been eliminated. No, Execration is still in it. But Clutch Gamers has, in fact, been eliminated. So we'll see if Execration can stay in it for now. We'll take a break. We'll jump into our second series of the day in just a moment. Stick around, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the China Dota 2 Supermajor SEA qualifiers. It is Clutch Gamers versus Execration in a 2-game series that doesn't mean a whole lot. Both of these teams have already been eliminated. Execration will be, of course, eliminated after they lose 2-0 to Fnatic in the previous set of games. Of course, that was in the other stream. Execration, they've had a couple of good games here and there. Clutch Gamers as well. They've played pretty well at times in this particular tournament, but no such luck for either of these teams getting through. And with that, I do want to point out some standings, what we've got going on. Essentially, what it comes down to is, well, TnC is absolutely owning. They lose a game, but they will still have 7 points to the Fnatic's, I think, 6 points that they currently have. Of course, TnC have one more series to play, as do Fnatic. TnC need to lose that series 2-0 to Geek Fam in order for Fnatic to make it through. I think everybody else is out of the running. I'm believing it's just these two teams. So there's obviously a lot at stake in some of the other games that we have going on. But for now, we got a game that doesn't really mean anything. But that's okay, because a lot of cool stuff can happen right now. So we'll see if that's going to be the case. I mean, Brax, what do you expect when you get these types of games where there's nothing on the line? What do you try to do? Do you try something different and experiment, or do you just play your style of Dota and just have fun?
Ooh, Mott. This is when I expect the clown shoes to come off in full force.
That's what I want to hear, Brax.
That's what it's all about.
Because, the clown shoe Dota, good Dota is fun to watch sometimes. Don't get me wrong. If you got a good split pushing team, you're playing to your strengths, it can be fun. In fact, the last game was really good Dota. But the clown shoes Dota is where it gets interesting. You got random buybacks. You have ridiculous items. You got heroes dying to other heroes they shouldn't die to. It's just the best of both worlds. So,
yep, I completely agree. But Mott, according to the picks here, we've got some regular Dota, right? Some good Dota. We have the Omni Knight Razor coming out from Clutch Gamers, and Sand King, Leshrac, Rubik. Okay, so one of these heroes is a core. Which one is it? Probably the Leshrac. Probably the Sand King. Maybe the Rubik. We don't know.
I think I like Leshrac as a support more than I like it as a mid laner. Actually, I think.
10 seconds remaining.
He looks really good as a support, doesn't he?
He does. And you would think that Leshrac wouldn't be that strong because the Split Earth kind of it's tough to hit on your own. But when you pair it with another hero, it also does a lot of damage too. The amount of burst he has between Lightning Storm and Split Earth, when he gets level 4, he actually dishes out the damage. Not to mention, you can have a Rubik who will go for no field eventually and then have the aggressive null field to give you even more magic damage to work with. The issue is that they're playing against an Omni Knight who has Repel, which I hear is a really good ability.
Yes, makes you deal absolutely no magic damage, but I agree. I like the support Leshrac a lot. He transitions nicely. He takes up a lot of the space, a lot of the farm, keeps these waves out, and then he scales as well. But Naga Siren, this hero is something else, Mott.
Yeah, she's ridiculous. I can imagine if the Naga was in the last game for TnC, they could have just songed while the Sand King jumps in and initiates, then the Naga just songs, they reset the fight, and they go again. And that's exactly what